They like the chaos.
They like the chaos. So when you're able to
chaos,
let that chaos reign with
chaos,
let that chaos reign with
chaos,
let that chaos reign with
must reign.
It's the gold digging thing. Do both men?
Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to another session of the stream here on Chaos Reign Show. I am Chaos Reign here. As you know, Charlie Kirk is on with us. To all the people that admire or respect Charlie Kirkland, I mean, it is what it is. And those that don't like him or don't like his methods or what he has brought in front of the internet, that is their opinion as well. Nonetheless, the title, Charlie Kirk destroys the feminist life. Or let's say the left, or what you want to call it. This is really a reflection of his views and stance in regards to make America better again. So no further ado, let's begin. Leave your comments in the comment section or whatever. Let's begin, guys.
Know about each other?
They do.
And are they married or are they single?
They're single.
And they're cool with that?
Yeah. Everybody's different.
No, just tell me more. I'm curious about it.
What would you like to know?
Do they pay you?
Not in so much as actual handing me buckets of cash. That'd be cool though. But yeah, both of them have been very generous. I like things that way.
Okay.
Keeps the schedule freer too, so we can all see each other.
Have they ever met?
No.
And so they're in like different. Or would you mind if they met?
With me, are you talking about like biblically or something?
No,
that's
I'm not
my thing.
biblically. No, it's fine. I'm just curious, like if they were ever to like meet each other.
That'd be up. Sure, whatever.
Okay, yeah. Interesting.
Nick, if you can change the split back to yeah. Did you have any other questions?
No, I'm just. Okay. Why not 3? More money, right?
I think everything in moderation, especially moderation. Like,
so 2's moderation.
For me, it's what works. I like my life as it is, so that's what works. If maybe I'll decide differently tomorrow.
Cool. No, it's a brave new world for me. I'm just learning.
Okay. I wanted to ask Charlie, do you have any plans to run for political office?
No, I do not.
No
God
plans?
forbid. No. I'm very happy the way I am. No, I'm too young actually.
Oh, you have to be 35, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
I'm only 30, so
Okay, maybe,
I'm very happy with the life we have right now. So yeah, super blessed.
Not even in the future?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. You don't want it?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I love hosting radio, love doing the podcast, love doing books, traveling the country. So. Yeah.
Okay, got it. I want.
Oh, and for those that's watching, thank y'all for watching. Please like the stream as you come by. Give your thoughts and opinions on your views on Charlie Kirkland and his debate against the feminist ladies on the panel. One thing I do want to incline in regards to Charlie Kirk, right? He is a full devoted Christian. So people don't know. His views are based on what he has been instilled as a boy amongst his own family, whether they're left-wing or conservative. So, as you know, him having this conversation with these ladies is all in good faith and honest. Now, Narrative Dialogue says this, that I'm not going to lie, Charlie Kirkland fans, evil will always devour itself like it did on September 10th. You know, that is profound. So let's continue on with the stream. If you have any questions, guys, put it in the super chat, most likely.
Start off the show. We're going to react to a clip. Oh, wait, did I pull it up?
Of mine? Oh, great.
No, not of yours, but I definitely want you to weigh in on it. Excuse me. So, Nick, it's actually in the Dropbox folder. I forgot to put it on one of the tabs. It's, let me get you, I'm going to see if I can just send you the link, but one sec. Actually, just go ahead, pull up the Dropbox folder. My bad, forgot to get this pulled up. It's Dropbox and then the videos tab. Podcast folder. Nope. In there. Podcast. So it's actually right there, the first one, the first video. Wait, no. It's not. It's in this one. Yeah, that one. You should actually just pull it over to the tab.
Do you want to know one of the
Can you mute the audio, please? Okay, can you pull it over, please? You got it?
Yeah.
were you able to like pull it into one of the tabs?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Oops. Oh, that laptop came out of nowhere. Okay.
Who has that want and desire.
Nick. Okay, wow. All right. Nick, can you, okay, at the very bottom there, Windows tutorial. Okay. Okay, and that, all right. Go ahead and start from the beginning, please. All right, we're going to have you guys react to this.
Do you want to know one of the saddest realizations I recently had? Was that as a liberal woman, it is really hard to find a man who is willing to play the more traditional masculine role in the relationship in today's day and age, who is not a conservative. A man who wants to pay on the first date, who wants to open your door, who has that want and desire to take care of you and to provide, who is not a conservative. And obviously, as a liberal woman, I do want to be respected for my independence. And I do want to have my own autonomy in the relationship and not be confined or conform to the traditional female homemaker, childbearing role. And most of the men that I've dated who do have that more natural provider masculinity about them are normally conservative. So I don't really know what to do because I don't want to compromise my morals and values just to find a man. But am I asking to have my cake and eat it too?
All right. So we're going to get the girls' reactions, just going around the table. So what are your thoughts on the clip? And do you think that liberal women deserve chivalrous treatment? Starting with you, go ahead.
My question is liberal the same as progressive? For the most part?
They're largely synonymous.
They're pretty much synonymous,
they're
right?
They're cousins. They're not exactly the same.
I think because of that, it'll be hard for her to find somebody who's, who has anti-liberal morals while still.
All right, guys, the poll is up. Respond to the poll. As you like the stream, come in, give your thoughts and opinions in the comment or the chat room on your views on Charlie Kirkland. If you could be respectful, I would appreciate it. Remember, words that go by, sometimes I will not catch. If you really want to be expound, you got to put it in the super chat. Let's go.
Being progressive at the same time. With that being said, I think she is also grouping morals into just like political values, which is kind of dumb. I think she can find a guy who's morally in the right place with his head and still doesn't mind that, she goes to work. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
I actually agree with everything you just said because I feel like that's the only type of guys I date. Like every guy I've dated fits under that, so it's not that rare.
Wait, every guy you've dated fits under what?
What the type of guy that she described she's looking for.
So like liberal, feminist,
like,
progressive.
I don't date conservative men that are like straight up conservative, but But
you still get the traditional treatment.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What about you?
Oh, I don't really have an opinion.
Do you think men should pay on the first date? Everybody?
For the most part, yeah.
Yes.
It shows your role as like you're willing and provider. Like,
Oh, I totally agree.
yeah, any guy who went 50-50 with me is like.
So what do you think of
Probably
the
not
feminist
dating me.
movement that says women should go 50-50? What do you guys think of that? On dates in general.
I'm totally down for that, and then we're friends for life. we're not dating if we're going 50-50. I go 50-50 with my guy friends, personally.
Well, so we'll go around the table. Who should pay on the first date? Can you tilt the microphone down just a tad?
If it's an actual date, it's the man.
A little more? Yeah. Okay, what about you?
The man.
The man?
I think it depends on who asked the person on the date. So like if I asked my boyfriend on a date.
Well, so first date.
Oh.
This is for first date.
Or even your boyfriend? You would pay with your boyfriend? Wow.
Or like say if I initiated the first date, then I feel like I should pay.
Okay. Well, with your boyfriend, when you guys go on dates, you've been dating for 3 years, do you guys kind of, is it 50-50 or how's it with your boyfriend?
I mean, he like usually initiates to pay, but I try to pay and help. Like not
What do you
just
mean
like,
you try?
Or like because he doesn't let me. So.
Okay, so like overwhelmingly for like dates and stuff, he'll pay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then before you met him, if you were going on first dates, what was your experience there?
He'll usually pay.
The guy will pay. Because you said whoever asked should pay. For first dates, have you ever asked a guy out?
No.
Interesting. Okay. What about you? Who should pay on a first date?
So she's correct. That's the typical etiquette rule: is whoever asked is the payer. For me in my romantic life, I like generous men, as we've talked about ad nauseum. So I would not be attracted to a guy who wanted
Has
me
it
to
been
pay.
ad nauseum?
But not yet.
I don't know if it's been ad nauseum yet. But okay. What about you?
I think the guy, but
Yeah.
I honestly don't mind. Like, I wouldn't go 50-50 with the bill. I would rather pay the full amount, or pay the full amount. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah, typically I think usually the guy should pay for the first date, but then I feel like after you guys been like dating for a while, then usually like in my past experience I would take turns. Like if I'm paying for dinner, then he would pay for like dessert.
Well, you were in a relationship for 3 years, right? So was that the case in your 3-year relationship?
Mike Davis donated $300.
Yeah, thank you, Mike
What's
Davis.
up, Kirk? Panel epitomizes modern culture, where a pack of nobody girls can be on the same panel as a man of stature
I
like
don't hold
Kirk.
that view, for the record.
Charlie, you have a lifetime free pass at BK. Keep
Burger
America
King.
great.
He owns like 100.
Does he really?
That's him. Mike Davis. He's a longtime supporter.
Are you serious?
That's Mike Davis. He owns.
I want to meet him. That's cool.
We'll arrange it. He owns like hundreds of Burger King.
He could be nicer, but I would like to meet him.
Yeah, he's a little sassy. He's a little sassy. But thank you, Mike Davis.
He could be a sweeter person.
Wait, so going back to you with your relationship, what was the dynamic there?
Definitely when we first started dating, he would pay for a lot more because
Okay.
he had like a source of income.
Okay.
And then the longer that like we started dating, it definitely went more 50-50. But
Sure.
also it kind of depended, like if I wanted to go somewhere more expensive, but he like didn't want to eat there, then I would pay because I
Okay.
want to go there.
What about you?
I'm like 50-50. Like, it doesn't really matter. But like on first date, I feel like it would be good if a guy could pay just for like a good impression, like gentlemen. But when it comes to like further down the track, like, it doesn't really matter.
All right.
I think it should be 50-50 regardless of who asked.
Okay. What about you?
I think the guy should pay. I think it shows that they have more of a provider mindset.
All right. I do want to get some follow-up a little bit on the clip. We'll come back to it momentarily. Charlie, who should
Yes,
pay on
the men should always pay regardless of what date it is. Yes.
Okay.
Hey, Charlie.
Yeah, no matter. Men should always pay. No questions asked. Even if you have to go into debt, borrow money, it's a complete humiliation or embarrassment to have a woman pay for a date.
All right. There you go.
All right. For clarity, that's a very good question of who should pay on the first date. Now, I'm a proponent, personally, depending on your financial situation. In my opinion, for any man that's 18 up, if you're taking any woman on a date, it should be inclined where it does not break your pocket. Generally, that's how it normally supposed to go. Now, everybody's going to agree or disagree with this, but yeah, you should pay if she's worthy of the payment. Now, obviously, if she's willing to break off with you on the bill, in my opinion, I think she is inclined and really sees you as nothing more of maybe a friend here and there, and she does not desire to sleep with you. That's my recollection when I get the vibe when most women will automatically pay. She just wants to see you as a friend and nothing more. That's as far as it's going to go. But overall, when you go on a date with any woman, you should really personally keep it in a budget. Now, in certain states, I will give you the numbers of where the most it costs to go on a date in a little bit. But overall, you should not break the bank in regards taking a woman out to date for food. All right, let's continue. Various.
Oh. Do you agree?
Absolutely.
We agree. Yes,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I think it's the downfall of a lot of things in society where we're asking women to pay for meals. You should look yourself in the mirror and figure it out. And if you want to court a woman, regardless if by the way, women shouldn't be asking men on dates. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with it, but I'm saying like men should be the assertive driving force in that. But sometimes it happens the other way.
Okay. And sort of a follow-up question on some of your guys' answers. Going around the table, do you consider yourself a feminist? Starting with you, go ahead.
I feel like that word has been so misconstrued. For example, like feminism has given rights to even like men who have had SA in the past and they're able to speak up on it now, or
Feminism.
feminism.
Same-sex
Sexual.
Oh, okay, yeah, got it.
Yeah.
We just for
Yeah.
YouTube.
You know, I got it. No, I'm just trying to keep
Yeah.
up with the lingo.
Yeah, so men who have experienced that, you know, women at one point weren't able to visit the hospital without their husband, and now it's given patient privacy in the sense that it's
Wait,
like-
women. Hold on. Women were not allowed to get
Visit-
health care from a hospital.
without their
So if they had their
male
like
counterpart
they had
present
like
or
a
father.
limb chopped off back in the farming days or some shit.
I'm sure they had
couldn't
emergencies.
Go to a hospital.
I'm sure they had emergency, but like in terms of checkups.
This is a new feminist talking point I've heard, that women were barred from getting treated by a doctor in a hospital.
Without a man, yeah. So I think it's called patient privacy
I think you just kind of
rights.
manifested this out of nowhere.
Oh no, I like searched it
Never.
up before I got here.
Women
so
were
I'm just trying
barred
to do
from
my-
getting medical care.
Yes.
That's a new feminist talking
Yes.
point. Okay.
However, let me finish.
Go ahead.
Just that one point. I don't believe in a lot of modern feminist ideals. I don't think men are worse than women. I don't think women are better than men. All
Sure.
that stuff.
So do you consider yourself a feminist?
I honestly, at this point in time, no.
Okay. What about you?
As a nice, easy answer, yes.
Okay.
I think I'm just neutral on that topic.
Well, you got to, okay, you kind of didn't want to react to the clip there. You're neutral. Okay, let me ask you a question to perhaps help things along. Do you believe in a patriarchy? That there is a patriarchy? Into the mic if you can.
Oh, I don't know.
You don't know? Did you take any like feminist studies or sociology classes in university?
No.
Okay.
Do you think men run America?
No.
Okay.
Do you, I don't know.
I mean,
Trying
I
to
guess
frame-
there's more like men like in positions. I guess there's more men like in position.
Okay, and do you think that's a problem? Do you think there should be a movement towards egalitarian?
Equalizing it, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's a general, simple question. How you, as a woman, I'm not sure how old she is. I'm not gonna go back how old she is. Well, who do you think really runs this country? You think it's all women or men, or is equal footing? No. Most nations are still run and dominated by men, generally. So for her to think that a man's not running this, that tells me she's not really in tune or really haven't understand who runs society. She's gonna learn. Let's go. Oh, and guys, please hit the like button. I see more people watching this video. Please interact with the chat room. Like the stream. Give your thoughts. Let's go.
I think it could go both ways. Like, if a woman wants to step up, then
Sure.
yeah.
It's a bit of a non-answer, but so do you think there ought to be a movement towards egalitarianism and equality in all realms? And do you think the current social order, at least through the feminist standpoint of there's this patriarchy, do you think we ought to dismantle a patriarchy, if there is one?
I mean, I think in the end, like, it could be equal, but I don't know.
Okay. What about you?
So can we define what you're using the word feminist? My understanding was that women should have equal access to rights in pursuit of happiness, sort of thing. But I could be wrong on my definition.
Oh yeah, there's different.
There's second and third wave feminism.
Yeah, there's different.
First, second, and third wave. I can define it if you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
That'd be
Thank you.
Yeah, so first wave feminism would be like the Equal Rights Amendment. No, going back before that, universal suffrage, that women should be able to vote. Second wave feminism was like Gloria Steinman, where she wrote The Feminist Mystique, where she was rather nasty in her writing, saying that women are in a prison cell called the home and barefoot and pregnant. But that led to a lot of women in the workforce and a lot of career advancement for women, for positive or negative. Third wave feminism is that any inequity that we see between men or women is inherently wrong. So that, for example, if you have modeling, women should not earn more than men, and men should not earn more than women. You know, that if there's any inequity, third wave feminism is very much as I forgot your name. I'm sorry. Karina, you said it's rooted in a hatred of men more than the advancement of women. That's third wave feminism. Second wave feminism is more of a critique that child rearing, nuclear family development, those things are largely negative, and that women should be allowed to be liberated beyond that. I'm generalizing, but that's first, second, and third wave feminism. So first wave feminism goes back to the passing of universal suffrage and all that. So I hope that's helpful.
Thank you. Thanks. I didn't know the history well enough. Hating men is wrong and stupid. We need them. If you don't like them, we need them. So that's weird. And then I think it's a shame if anybody. I'd like a world where people can do what they want, and that's a shame if that people have been told that being a stay-at-home mother, all these other things, having children, is lesser than, because it's not. It's just different, and it's not lesser than. So I believe that's wrong too. So I guess it'd be a no.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Can I ask you a question? Do you guys think that women, if we were to get into a war, should be enlisted in the draft?
No.
Does anybody think you should? Because this is currently being debated in front of in the House, Congress right now, the Senate. Senate Democrats are pushing to say that men and women, if we were to get into a time of a draft, which we had back during Vietnam, both should be drafted into war. Does anyone think that should happen?
That's how the Israeli army operates.
It's true.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But they don't necessarily put them at the front lines.
Well, I think Charlie was speaking about the United States.
I know.
No, but you're right.
I'm just
the
kind of
IDF
comparing,
does have it. That's
yeah,
right.
I'm comparing two together. I wouldn't want to personally.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
How about any war? No war.
No war.
No.
I can get back to you.
Yeah.
Why are you torn?
I mean, are they going to pass the same physical standards? Because then there'll just be fewer of them because of virtue
they're
of
accommodated.
sexual dimorphism.
They're accommodated for female fitness standards.
When military activity requires less physical strength, it is more sort of hacking and flying drones from a building, perhaps women's military service could be.
But does anyone think that women should be sheltered from the horrors of war and men should lead into the nastiest, ugliest things for society on behalf of society?
I gotta think about it.
It's a big question. It's actively being debated right now. And the reason I ask is because feminism, if it's implemented at its core premise, is they want equal outcomes, but then also equal treatment, which is that if we go to war, women have to go storm Normandy Beach next time too, not just men.
That's a good point.
Anybody?
I want you guys to answer that question, but let's actually get the answer to, are you a feminist?
I think so.
Okay. Did you answer this? Yes or no? We can just get a yes or no.
Yeah.
I don't know if you answered it. No, not a feminist.
You're not.
Yes.
Yes. A little louder, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
I am not a feminist.
Not a feminist. Charlie, feminist?
Whatever the opposite is, that's what I am. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I love women, and I think women have a beautiful place to play in society, but especially third-wave feminism is a toxin on society. And I think also the degradation of stay-at-home motherhood has been really, really dangerous and destructive for our society. It should be celebrated as an option for women.
Sure. And back to Charlie's question, so going around the table, so this is something that's currently being contemplated. I think, so my understanding is they're also, instead of men having to register for the selective service, they're just automatically.
So that's right. Everyone automatically gets enrolled, male or female.
Male and female.
Yeah.
And it passed the House, but it goes to the.
Well, they're debating it in the Senate Armed Services Committee, and it very well might pass.
Okay.
Which is I'm just curious what young ladies think of the perspective of maybe having to go into the military.
Yeah. So the
at
question,
a time of war.
Yeah. So the question is, do you think women ought to be drafted or required
or protected from the draft, which would be my position.
A lot of conflict going on. So do you think women ought to be subject to forced military conscription, aka the draft, aka the selective service? We'll just go around the table. What about you?
I wouldn't say.
Can you straighten your mic a little bit?
Sure. I wouldn't say that they should.
Perfect.
However, perhaps they have to have a more concrete role in their place either at home or if they choose to serve the country, to do it in a way where it's not at the front lines.
Can I interrupt? But the front lines argument, I think, is a little bit disingenuous because a drone operator is not the front lines, but you could kill more people as a drone operator than being on. So the question is, should we shield women from the ugliest frontline massacre situations that we can imagine?
I would say to reach optimal results, if we're speaking on war, then yes.
Okay.
Yes, women should be drafted.
Yes, we should shield women from the draft.
But I want you also to think, sorry to interrupt, beyond results too. Do we have a moral obligation to protect women from bullets, missiles, and artillery shells? It's an interesting question.
I mean,
Not the missiles. The other stuff I'm fine with, but the missiles, I think they can get the missiles. Go ahead.
I don't think women should be drafted because at the end of the day, it wouldn't really help the war in any much way. Like you said, the drone.
Whoa, that's a really sexist statement of you to
No,
make.
because like I'm making frontline physical, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas if you're saying, oh, should they have a place in the war? Yeah, I feel like if a woman wants to be able to be in the war,
We're
yeah.
talking about force though, right?
Yeah, no force. But if a woman, I feel like they definitely have a role in the war. They're a good, smart, intelligent woman can definitely advance the war for our side. But you shouldn't just draft any and every woman in the terms of equality, you know?
Wait, you shouldn't. In terms of, wouldn't that not be equality then?
Yeah, it wouldn't be equality in terms of a war, but I'm okay with that.
But didn't you say you were a feminist?
Yeah, I said as an easy answer, I'm a feminist. But like he said,
with
there's so
terms
many
and conditions.
Nuance, right?
Yeah, there's so many nuances and so many things with feminism where I don't agree with everything he, like if he says, are you that type of feminist that he just described? No, of course not.
Wait, the type of feminist that's for
That-
actual equality?
Like the third wave, you mean?
Yeah, I'm not third wave or even second wave to its full extent.
Well,
I'm not,
what about the feminists that in pursuit of equality want women to be drafted? Which is very few, I think, to be honest.
yeah.
It's mostly men that are actually pushing for it in
Yeah,
the Democrat
exactly.
Party.
I don't think many women want that either.
Yeah.
Okay.
And by the way, just sorry to interrupt.
Yeah,
I don't mean to interrupt.
absolutely. No, go ahead.
The women of America are largely silent on this. And for as much people hate Donald Trump, he was the one that said women will never be drafted. But I'm curious if we want to.
Yeah, well, just going around the table, do you think women should be subject to military conscription? That's the original.
I think if they have like like attributes that will proceed, then I think they should. But if it's
Well, it would
not
just be a
gonna-
blanket general draft. So like you're 20, correct?
You're eligible.
You would be eligible for the draft.
Yeah, like if I wanted to, then.
Not if you wanted to.
Or like being forced.
That's what
forced.
happened in Vietnam or World War II. Every person, every able-bodied person. How would you feel about going to war?
I mean, like I wouldn't want to.
Like if we go to
but-
war with Kazakhstan tomorrow, you're there. You're in Kazakhstan.
Yo,
Are you?
I'm Uzbeki.
Oh, okay. Wait, is there
Neighbors.
conflict?
No, it's just funny.
Oh, okay,
It was
all
so random.
I don't know. I didn't want to. Anyways.
Yeah, that was pretty politically neutral, I guess.
Sorry, what was that, Nick? You wanted to pull something up? But so, yes in favor of the draft for women or no, not in favor?
I just think if everyone does go to war, then like everyone goes to war.
Okay. What about you?
I look at it from a biological standpoint. Like, if you think about animal husbandry, after war, you tend to need to repopulate, right? You have a lot of death.
Yeah.
So sperm is abundant. Uterus is busy for about a year, a little less, right? So when you do animal husbandry, you tend to need more females than a male. Oddly, we have a 50-50 sex ratio. I don't think anybody really understands why, because it probably shouldn't be. But that said, I think losing uteruses to war death is probably long-term more damaging from a society. So even if you hate men like men, hate women, love women, you probably don't want to sacrifice the uterus people when you're going to need
The
them.
uterus people.
The
Okay.
women, right? Because
Yeah.
you're going to need them to repopulate. So I would not like a female draft.
Well, let's assume like the draft, you know, on a micro level, I think that argument makes sense. But on the macro level, what's 50,000?
Oh.
You know? It's not going to.
And you're a pilot. You'd be frontline bombing.
Yeah, yeah.
Just dropping them from above.
But let me ask you, would you feel as if it's consistent with your nature to get in a plane and drop bombs?
No, I would not enjoy that. If I was drafted and it was my service, I would do it because I love my country, but I would prefer not to.
Well, there's been an attack.
They
on the
had
Whatever
female pilots. You know about the
podcast.
night witches in
Oh, yeah,
Russia?
no, there's-
We've done it when we've had to, when we as
Incredibly
humanity
qualified, but these are largely volunteer. Well, the Russian is not as much, but they have exemptions for their draft.
What do you think on this?
One side note, I have the numbers of which countries allow women to be in war and be mandatory drafted. I'm going to give it to you in a sec after they finish with their roundups. Let's go.
I think it's up to the individual themselves.
No, but okay. So the question is like this would be something that's forced. So okay. So currently, I know you're from Australia. But I suspect there's probably a military draft or conscription in Australia where they have to register. The men have to register anyways. So in the United States, I assume it's the same in Australia. Men have to register for something called the selective service, which in wartime, if the government opted to, they couldn't find enough soldiers, they could force males to join the war effort, become soldiers. That's strictly men currently, but Congress, the government, they're contemplating making it both men and women. So do you think women should also be subject to potential forced military conscription, aka the draft?
No.
Okay, what about you?
No. I personally would not want to go to war.
But so that's not the question. You personally wouldn't want to go to war, right?
Yeah.
But speaking in generalities here.
Yeah.
It would, because you're 21, so you would potentially be subject to draft.
Yeah. No.
So women should not. Okay.
I don't really have like an opinion on it. Like, I feel like if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
I'm sorry, you guys are giving the most non-answer answers to this question, but if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Like,
Okay.
it is what it is.
I don't know what that means. But
I've read in.
Okay, all right. What about you?
Yeah. For the sake of everything being 50-50, then yeah, sure, go for it.
What do you think over here?
I don't think women should be drafted. I mean, I know women aren't necessarily frail, but I know we are a lot weaker than men, especially of same size and stature. I mean, they could beat us at any point in time unless, like, we have a gun.
Sure.
Granted, I know in war we probably would. And then I think just the emotional trauma of, like, seeing somebody killed, it's... Females are more emotional than guys are generally, and that would be a lot harder for us to get over.
So, and then I would imagine no one has a problem if the war got really crazy for men being drafted, right?
I mean, just historically, men have been the ones who've always been drafted.
So then, for those of you that said you were feminists, do you see any inconsistency between saying that you want equality, but you're cool with sending men to run into machine guns to protect your society? Does anyone wrestle with that?
How do you reconcile that? Yeah.
I didn't say I was a feminist.
No, I know,
but
but
it's
some
definitely
did.
mental gymnastics.
No, but what I'm getting at, though, is that it's easy, and I know that you have all been so polite, but let's just dive right into it. It's easy at times to bash the patriarchy. Taylor Swift just today was one of her songs, F the patriarchy, and everyone in the concert screams that, right?
Can we Google that, Nick? Yeah.
Well, it's a lyric to one of her songs. It's some like name tag that was dropped, but she says it like a rallying cry, F the patriarchy. When it comes down to it, it's like you're cool throwing men to the front lines of war, but not yourself.
Why do you think the third wave has happened? Do you think it's revenge? Do you think it's a mind virus?
Well, I think it's...
What do you think?
It's a great question. I think that it is a idea toxin where we have really denigrated having children and staying at home for a lot of women. And some women, that's the right path. For some women, it's not the right path. But for a lot of women, it is the right path. And there needs to be an ideological reason as to why you don't get married and you don't have kids for the vast majority of the population. And they developed feminism, where they said that for young women, becoming a CEO of a shoe company is as fulfilling as having children. And for some people, that is true. But for a lot of people, that's just not true. And you look at the way Gloria Steinem wrote the feminist mystique. It was, I feel as if I'm in an open air prison, being a stay-at-home mom, barefoot and pregnant, basically, being in the kitchen. And it started this whole push, which is where we are the same as men. And that's the problem with third wave feminism, is that it ties with the trans movement, is they don't believe there's any sort of biological differences between men and women, which we all agree is insane, right? That men and women are made completely differently. And yeah, I think it's an intellectual and ideological cancer that needs to be crushed. And I think deep down, most people don't even believe it. And the draft argument actually, I think, really draws that out, where when it comes down to it, most American women are okay sending men to war, which you should be, by the way.
Do you young ladies, like if you...
All right. If you guys watch, please like the stream. If you guys have any opposition what was said so far, please let me know in the chat room. Here are the numbers of the war and women being mandatory drafted. What countries made it mandatory for women to be drafted to go to war? Because that is a very intriguing and real honest question, because as y'all notice, in this uncertain climate we are in America, war could be a possibility. And I'm not sure what's the percentage of women that's now doing military service, but I think it's pretty high now. But these are the numbers. The country with the mandatory military drafting for women: Israel, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Netherlands. Other nations: North Korea, some African countries like Eritrea, Chad, Mali, Guinea, Botswana, etc. We're not going on them African countries because no one doesn't really focus on Africa. And East Timor and China. And this is a summary of mandatory wars. The country Israel is the #1 list. Mandatory draft for women, yes. Note, mandatory was enlisted and was enacted in 1949. Norway, another country, yes, women are mandatory to go enlist and draft. Since 2015, that's only 10 years ago. Sweden, since 2018. Denmark, yes, from 2026. Now, this is going to be enacted next year in Denmark. So they're going to start making them be enlisted here. North Korea, yes, since 2015, mandatory for women ages 17 up. That's 10 years ago. And what else? Oh, some African nations. There's no year when they made women enlisted mandatory for military. Netherlands, yes, but not in force. Laws exist, but actually service suspended since 1997. So in summary, is Israel, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, North Korea. These are the countries that made it mandatory for women to join the military. And there are some links, which I'm not going to provide, but that's a very interesting study. Well, he is not. This is a recap. All right, let's keep going.
Feel like you say I'd like to marry and be a stay-at-home mom and not work. If any of you would say that, I don't know. Do you feel like other people would shame you, that you get more social clout by saying something else?
I think it's praised right now to be a stay-at-home mom.
Okay.
At least from my social circles.
Interesting.
Like everybody.
That's a new phenomenon.
Before we do move on, I'm not going to allow. Hold on. I'm not going to allow you guys to weasel your way out of Charlie's question here. So just show of hands. Who of you guys said you were feminists? I believe you, and then you. Oh, come on! Don't reel it back here. So both of you said you're feminists, but you also said you're not in favor of women being subject to military conscription. It occurs to me that feminism, in the most, I guess, generous definition I could give it, is a movement towards equality. That's not honestly the definition I would give it, but to be charitable, I'll give it that. So how do you...
Davis donated $300. Kirk, I'm a fan, but stop that corporate nice Christian boy facade.
Being too nice.
America is on its last leg, being overrun by illegals and degenerates.
Oh, wow, okay.
A time for being nice and a time for war. Now is time for war.
This is Burger King, guy.
This is Burger King. It's Mike Davis. All right, Mike Davis, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
That's why men should be in war.
Yeah.
A woman would never say that.
Because
it's time for war. I've never uttered that phrase in my life.
No, that's a very smart point, actually.
And so, back to my question, those of you who consider yourself feminist, how do you reconcile being a feminist, being for equality, but also not being in favor of women being subject to forced military conscription the same way that men are? Go ahead.
Because feminism isn't just feminism, as in if you're a feminist, you have to agree with every single thought and every single idea that every feminist pushes forward, like the draft, for example.
Well, it's not clear to me if that's a feminist, like specifically a feminist position.
Well, then if I'm not a feminist under your eyes, then that's fine.
Would you acknowledge, though, that would be a pure equality between men and women?
Yeah. If everyone
so you're not
got
in
drafted,
favor of
that
equality
yeah.
when it doesn't stand to benefit women.
Yeah, but again, I never pushed for 100% equality within feminism. Not
So
every
you only
feminist
want the
believes
equality that benefits women.
No, I want the equality that benefits humanity.
Okay, so can
Like,
I
as a
interrupt?
society.
No, okay, so if that is, are you guys then okay when you find out that women might earn less in the workforce than men?
Yeah, if it falls under that same
you're
benefits
consistent,
humanity and society, then yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think women should be, if the women are doing the same exact job and producing the same exact amount, quantity, and quality of work, I think they should be paid the same.
Yeah.
But generally, that's not the case.
You know, you're right. Yeah, the law, you can't discriminate based on sex, but usually there's a lot of other factors, such as where you went to school, what you studied. So yeah, I'm just trying to flush out the consistency or lack thereof here.
Yeah, I don't ever think it's men versus women. It's like masculine complements the feminine. So I think the new wave feminism, if they're talking about, hey, women are better than men, that's like the dumbest thing that you can ever say. I think women complement men, which goes back to your, draft concept.
Well, I'd like to ask you another question here. Do you think women should be barred from volunteering for the military?
No.
Well, that's interesting. They shouldn't be barred from volunteering, but they should be barred from being forced into conscription despite men being forced into potential conscription. I'm a little confused there.
What's confusing about that?
Well, why would you, if you're fine with women volunteering, why would you object to women being forced?
I feel like we made so many points on why women shouldn't be in war. Do I have to go over them again? I can.
Did you make points? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I did actually. Like, for example, a woman being sent out to war. Well, actually, let's use her example. That was one of the best ones. If we send half women, half men to war, and we lose an incredible amount of population, what would it be of the country and our workforce? Like
well,
let's assume women are the ones that are able to have one child at a time. Some occasions, 2, 3, if you have twins, triplets, whatever. But one man can produce how many kids in a year? One man can repopulate a population so much quicker than a woman can.
Okay, well, let's assume the conflict we get involved in is similar to Vietnam, where it's not like we're drafting like huge swaths of the U.S. population. It's more like, I just Googled it, I think the United States military conscripted 2 million service personnel throughout the course of Vietnam War.
World War II was way more than that.
Yeah. So, I mean, if we lost, 1 million, from a population perspective, I don't think it would be catastrophic.
But again, those 1 million women aren't just 1 million women randomly. They're occupying special type of forces. Like, for example, teachers. How many teachers would we lose because of that?
What do you mean? We would get like 18 to 22-year-olds. They're in the middle of doing OnlyFans or college or something.
I love.
Okay, I get what she's trying to say. In her logic, she's trying give not more an excuse, but bringing the logic to these gentlemen about why it would not make sense for it to be mandatory for women to be in the military. In my opinion, women today are more free than ever in America. If America decides said that we're going to not only draft the men, but also you ladies will have no choice. There's only 4 countries I read off the list, and I think it was 4, that mandatory women to be in the military service. The reason why America has not initiated this act and made mandatory is because they're not at a state right now where it said we need everybody on deck to fight the next big war. That's how it goes. In regards to replacement, if you lose more women than men or vice versa, both, America imports more people by the millions every year. That was shown proof from the last administration. They import more non-black people, particularly Spanish people, people from some parts of Europe, maybe some little small parts of Africa or the Caribbean a little bit, but mostly Western European / white nations, more in the last 4 years. And gave them subsidies, they gave them visas, they gave them housing, all stuff. So America is not concerned about losing their American people here. They're more going by, we need the numbers. And that's where it boils down. So, like I said, you could bring the logic to these men, but overall, that's not going to work over here. All right, let's keep going.
All of Isla Vista would end up being the Marines. So can I ask?
If you
Okay.
The Bronaces donated $300. Get rid of those silly
know why
Australian
I don't
headbands,
know why
twins. I have been to Australia and all their women are like them. Replace them with Jojo Leche bags.
Okay.
Charlie Kirk looks like he's battling Metro Man.
Metro Man?
Anyone know what that means?
I have no idea what.
I think they're saying you look metrosexual.
Oh, really? Great.
Rude. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it, I
That
guess.
was so cute.
so random.
Oh, I see what happened there. Okay. All right. Where were we? We were. I forgot.
So can I just ask a question? So if you are with your boyfriend or husband and there's a home intruder in the house, who would you expect your husband to put himself first into that situation to take care of it?
Absolutely. I mean,
Or husband, boyfriend, or male counterpart?
I mean, I know my husband and I have had this conversation multiple times. I mean, we have multiple guns in the house, and he's told me, he's like, go hide in the bathroom and hide in the closet. He's like, and I'll take care of you. I mean, and I know where the guns are, and I know how to use them, just in case he dies for some reason. Or I can, shoot and hopefully scare somebody away.
Right.
I think you were maybe in the middle of making a point. You said, well, that they would be teachers, and so that's why we shouldn't
Well, you were
draft
saying
them.
how like 1 million women dying doesn't really hurt society, and I was saying that it does because women have a higher amount of like in certain roles, like for example,
Women's
like
jobs are
nursing.
more valuable. Is that
No.
the argument you're
I'm
making?
saying like a lot of women's jobs are already majority women.
Right, but I was arguing
So
your
if-
point about like you're making this point of, well, if all the women go and die to war, how are we going to repopulate? But
Yeah.
like I don't think any conflict would reduce the female population to such a degree that it would like have some catastrophic if they were drafted frontline, whatever.
But like we're already at.
Actually, it'd probably be good. I'm going to get canceled for this. It'd actually probably be good for the population if women got drafted, because here's what happens actually with the volunteer force of women. If they ever do face a deployment, a lot of these female soldiers just get pregnant to avoid having to be deployed.
Genius.
So it actually, this
The
is
fertility rate would
Charlie,
go up.
Hold on, Charlie. I think actually conservatives need to get on board with the female draft.
But no, you have to stay pregnant.
Charlie, I need you to commit on the whatever podcast here that you
No,
actually are in
I-
favor of the female draft, because they get drafted, right? We draft only women, and then they're gonna get pregnant so they can avoid being deployed. A lot of women do
If
that.
if
lot
there
of
is a
women do
pregnancy exemption, they still allow certain
Right, what
pregnant
if-
women to.
what
No, if you're pregnant, you can't be.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
Oh God. I'd say, man, the audacity to make the pregnancy and the birth rate in America, it astounds me. Well, that might work. I ain't gonna lie, that might work. Yeah, I think Brian's on something. Yeah, all right. I agree with that. Let's go.
How about like only third trimester can't get deployed, but first and second
They
trimester?
have pregnancy jumpsuits, but they're not in the Air Force, which is.
I
just
think this
insane.
could be a
But-
great talking
Yeah.
point for the
No, it's a real
conservative
thing.
party. Let's draft the women, and then we'll fix the population problem.
Which we have a huge
lot of women will
we have a
get.
huge
A lot of
population
women get pregnant. We will have to ban abortion, and just.
And then everyone's
For
going
that-
to be raised in
okay.
a single parent
Kidding.
household. That's horrible.
No,
I hate
of
that.
course
I hate
they
that
get
for
married
everyone.
or something. They get married.
They get married to their husband who's deployed. Also,
why not?
everything sucks.
We'll figure it out. Anyways,
War is bad across the board.
But wait, so okay, don't draft women because then we can't repopulate. Is that kind of the argument?
Yeah, that was one of them. Yeah.
Okay, what if we only draft like 100, or excuse me, not 100, 1 million women?
Okay, so you want to put a marker on we can draft 1 million women and unlimited men. Wouldn't that also not be equal under
No,
your
just
eyes?
like say 1 million women, 1 million men, or 10 million
Okay.
women, 10 million men. That would
Okay,
be equal.
And if they can prove that those 1 million women are competent and would advance the war just as much as those 1 million
Probably
men.
not, but
exactly,
we
that's
still
my
draft
point.
them.
No, but that's
No,
my
but
point.
equality, we still draft them.
But wouldn't you want in a war, the people
Then
going
why
to
do we
war-
have women for the volunteer force, which you're in favor of?
Because I do believe that the women who are volunteering know that they can provide quite a bit to the war. They're not just like,
Oh, really?
well, I would assume so. Why would a woman volunteer if she's
mean-
not certain that she can provide some type of,
Well, I mean, people volunteer for all kinds of reasons. Some people do for financial reasons. Perhaps they're coming from a very low socioeconomic position. getting into the military can be helpful in that way. Perhaps people want an experience, discipline. They want to serve their country.
That's true, but I don't think most women would put their lives on the line and have that be their number one option. Just volunteering just because like shits and gigs. Like I want to volunteer, you know?
Okay. Right. So I haven't really heard a compelling reason, at least from the feminist viewpoint standpoint, as to why women shouldn't be drafted.
But why would you want women to be drafted is my question as a man.
For the sake of
who
equality.
wants, yeah,
For the
but
sake
wouldn't you
of
want
equality.
your country to like do good in war, not just for the sake of equality?
What, so if I make that same argument about like the workforce, would you call that a sexist statement?
With what exactly?
Would it be a sexist statement? I'm not arguing this, but the same argument you're making about, well, wouldn't you want the best for the war effort? Couldn't you just make that argument about the volunteer force? So women can't join the military. You could say about policemen, police officers, firefighters, etc.
I'm not really catching your drift.
You said
You don't
wouldn't
want women,
the
so you're trying to
best
exclude
people?
women from other workforces is what you're asking me?
Well, you said, wouldn't you want the best people?
Yes, for the war, yeah, because
Which is
the
who?
war, because like if we lose the war, is that not a big deal?
That'd be a big deal.
Yeah, so
That'd
that's
be
what I'm
pretty
saying.
bad.
It's kind of like,
But
let's
you
put
could
equality to
so
the
you
side
could-
in terms of the war, because the war is really going to affect all of society, not just man or woman.
But you could even draft women into positions of, for example, not frontline soldiers.
Cybersecurity.
Yeah, and if you can
And
prove
most-
that those women are competent and they can do that, then
Right.
yeah, go ahead.
That still wouldn't really be equality, but it would
It
be
wouldn't, but
closer.
that would be good,
It
yeah.
would be closer to equality.
Exactly.
And actually, most positions in the military are not frontline combat positions. So I wouldn't, so I'm just a little confused here.
What are you confused about if we just agreed on the same point? Just because I label myself.
And for Tina M, obscurity, you can't be serious. Oh, they're serious. Tina M, they're very serious. Let you know.
As a feminist, and I have the same opinion within this as someone
But
who's
it
not a
seems
feminist.
like when you want equality
No,
only
because
when
I've
it
made that
suits
clear.
women.
I've made that clear that I don't want it when it just suits women. I want it when it benefits society.
Well, so then you acknowledge.
Is that really hard to
so-
understand?
A little bit. So then you acknowledge that there's an inequality that's currently impacting men because men are the only sex that are required to register for the selective service.
Yeah, that's an inequality in terms of, if
Okay.
one sex has to go to war,
So
the
your
other one
solution
doesn't,
then is
not
to get
equal.
rid of the draft?
My solution to that would just be let's not go to fucking war.
Well,
that would
that's-
make shit equal.
Yeah, war bad.
But obviously
War
that's
bad.
exactly. But since that's not a realistic thing that the U.S. will do, and that's why we're just
What
continuing
if it has nothing
with.
to do with the U.S.? What if there's a belligerent force like China or Russia or something?
Okay, well, either way.
Beaten Cheeks donated $300. Here is a point. Feminism should have never been brought upon society by evil men pushing women to become babyless career boss B words. In the West now, what are women currently oppressed on? I'll wait.
Beaton, I'll ask that later. Are you okay? So assuming we can't get rid of war, assuming there had to be a draft,
Exactly.
do you acknowledge the current inequality that exists?
Yes,
and shouldn't
you've
you
asked me that question
But
like
shouldn't
4
you
times, I
shouldn't
believe.
you
I've
as a
said yeah.
feminist be desirous of moving towards egalitarianism and equality?
Yeah, I've made that clear. No. Not in every single
Can I ask it a
aspect.
different way?
Yeah.
What would a victory for the feminist movement look like, or your view of feminism? Like what?
What's my view of feminism?
Yes, or like
Okay.
what is an injustice or something wrong in America that you would like to see remedied or cured with your view of feminism?
Okay, I can get real specific with it. I work in the healthcare field, and I see a lot of inequality within that. So that's one way where I'm a feminist, where I can see, okay, women aren't being treated the best way within the healthcare field specifically. They don't have the same rights as a man does.
Wait, can you elaborate on
Do you
that?
mean patients or the
Patients,
employees?
yeah.
Okay.
Wait, can you
Criminal
elaborate
patients.
what you mean? Like, what is the inequality?
Patient care, a man as a patient versus a woman as a patient, very different.
Can you articulate it a little further?
Women don't have the same care as a man.
Isn't it the case that women use?
Before I continue, I'm going to acknowledge the chat room. Welcome to everybody that's watching the stream. I hope you guys like it. I hope you are participating in the polls. I think Spartacus said that Kurt was a true American. Yes, Charlie Kirk was the definition of a true what they call true American as they could be. Very conservative, very protective of many things, including the maintenance of European Americans, white people in America. That's one thing. If people didn't really take anything out of it, that's what he stand for. I think most people that had their opinions or views, they're in their right. And the funny thing about all this, I remember Charlie Kirk said that the free speech should be eliminated. Am I right or wrong? Anybody in the chat room? Should America generally remove free speech? Because I don't think Charlie really promote that. I'm not sure. Can anybody educate me? Let me know in the chat room. Let's go.
Like see doctors more frequently, they get more, they're more likely to go visit a doctor.
Yeah, that's 100% the case, but that's because they're not getting adequate care. That's why they have to keep seeing new specialists, new people.
Wait. I don't think that's the reason. I think women just tend to care about our bodies, and men only care when they're on their deathbed. That's like the typical reasoning.
Women, like for like Medi-Cal or whatever. I don't know what it's called.
The reimbursables for women are like 7 to 1.
They're more likely to use.
Especially under 50 women.
But it's taken me like 6 months just to get a checkup. Like just.
I don't think that's because you're
standard.
a woman, though.
You don't think so? Okay.
I think that. Why would it be because you're a woman?
I don't know. Maybe because women's healthcare is harder to get. I'm not sure. That's
so
just
you're talking
me
like your
shooting in the dark.
OBGYN?
No, just primary care physician.
Why would that be because you're a woman, though?
It actually might be because I have shitty healthcare.
It also could be because we're just brought a couple million people from the third world into this country.
Yeah.
That
kind of creates long lines, but that's a separate issue.
Well, could you elaborate a little further on the healthcare thing, though?
Do you want me to just keep going, listing examples?
Well, you said women have, I don't know if you said rights, like women have X that men don't.
Yeah, women are behind in the healthcare field. So that's something I would want to see women progress in.
Like in nursing?
No, as a patient. I've made that clear.
Oh, as patients?
Yes.
How are they behind?
A woman doesn't get the same adequate care from her primary doctor, from her specialist, from whatever person in the care field to be able to say, you need to do this, this, and that. But I just believe that there is something that could be done.
Do you think that women sometimes might be overemphasizing a condition that might not be a big deal?
No, I don't think so. I mean, yeah, possibly person to person. There's many women who could do that. There's many men who would do that. How is that relevant?
No, because the survey you're citing is that women think they're not getting the care that they deserve when I think they actually are, and then some. But you're right, men will not go to the doctor unless they're missing a limb, where a woman will call their doctor as soon as they have a sniffle or a sneeze or a cough. And so they engage in the healthcare system more often. So when you have more interactions and more touch points, you'll have more people who think that there's an injustice when there really isn't.
I see your point.
And you also, well, actually here, we'll come back to that a little bit. I did also want to get an answer from you really quick on the draft thing, then we'll move it along to a different topic. You said you're a feminist, but not in favor of women being drafted. How do you reconcile that?
I mean, I think that there should definitely... I think there should be definitely things that are more, or I guess not more important, but like, I'm more for like, if I'm working a job in a lab and a man is working a job in the same lab and we're doing the same things, then we should be getting equal pay. But
what if you work harder than him? Should you get more money?
Well, what do you mean, like work harder?
Put in more hours, show up earlier?
I mean, wouldn't I?
What if you're better than him?
Then they would probably recognize the hard work that.
But I thought you said equal pay.
I mean, I think it would depend on like your lab position and like how high.
But you have the same title. Do you want it to be based on merit or just equality no matter what?
I mean, I guess like if you all.
Gotcha, chick. You see, women don't want to work hard to get more pay. They want to do subpar work, easy work, and get the same amount of revenue. A man will put in more time, hours, and effort than a woman. It don't work like that, sweetie. You got to do the same, equal, or above more than what a man's doing. That is what we call true equality. Not because you man, I'm a woman, we're supposed to get the same pay. It don't work like that. That's delusion. So answer the question. Thank you.
Are working harder, then I feel like you should get paid more regardless if you're a man or a woman.
So men are more likely to show up early at work They're more likely to not take 7 to 10 years off for having a child, whether you like that or not. More likely to ask for a promotion, more likely to ask for a raise. They're also more likely to get their boss to notice their hard work. They're better at that than women. So maybe it's not that women are getting paid less than men. Maybe just men are better at working the corporate system than women.
Well, then if that's the case, then I guess that's something we need to work on.
Wait, I have a question. Well, you didn't really answer the question, but you did bring up the wage gap there a little bit. So the question was about the draft, though, because you said you're a feminist, but you're not in favor of women being conscripted into forced military conscription. So, like, just how do you reconcile that?
Well, I think they brought up a good point about how, like, biologically, women are not as physically strong as, like, men. And I don't understand, like, or I guess, like, they do bring up a point, like, how would it benefit, like, the United States if we're putting more women onto, like, the military if we're not putting, like, the strongest, like, people out?
Well, if they're not benefiting, then why would we allow women to volunteer?
I mean, but that's like that's what they want to do with their time. It's better than not having any volunteers.
Okay. Do you guys think the military would be better if women weren't in it? If it was just men, hardcore men that want to win for the country? You know women better than I do.
No women.
Do you think the American military was a better fighting force when women were not in it?
I think they're a lot more aggressive, a lot more assertive. I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm hating on women, but I just think guys, when they're, especially in a war, I mean, they're out there that they're wanting to be out there fighting for their country. Women, that's not our
instinct. Wait, Charlie, what was your original question? So, would the U.S. military be better if it was just men? Is that
yes?
Kind of the
and
question?
I say this for a group of women who know female nature very well. You know your friend's female nature. If you're trying to create a fighting force to defeat the Russians, defeat the Chinese, and all these stupid wars, I agree with you. But if you want a good military, should women be in the military at all?
Let's get everybody's answer on this. Go ahead.
And there's a comment in the chat room about real politics and what political issues should be the focus then, Mr. 3X. I'm kind of curious. Put in the chat room. Let's go.
If you want the best military, not an equal one.
Just men. Just men.
I mean, but women are such good FBI agents. Like, we're just naturally good at...
Not private investigators, because women are the best at finding out that your boyfriend's cheating on you.
Exactly.
But we're not talking about that. We're talking about...
So how do we decode, like...
Just answer the question.
No. We're talking about storming Normandy, defeating the Nazis, winning a war.
I mean...
The Kazakhstans.
Oh, gosh.
The Kazakhs.
The Kazakhs.
They actually had women in the military in the Soviet Union, but that's a separate issue. But
yeah.
Go ahead.
For the sake of argument, no. No women.
Maybe no. But also make sure that every single man that is in there also is up to par.
Sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think if the men are really passionate about it, then no women.
Okay.
I don't want a world where people are barred from much.
Okay.
No.
No?
No.
I don't know if you guys even remember the question.
And also, a side note, it looks like majority of the women on here don't want no mandatory military, which is fine in the sake of this conversation. I'm more of indifference about military action for women. It all depends on the state and the government if it's a necessity. Now, for people that do not know, we have a shortage of military men join the armed service or just the military in general because they cannot go through the basic training, the PTA, I think, tests, physical training. And that's what's going to hurt more of us here in America, because if boys are not prepared and trained just to handle the physicality, the basic physical, they're not going to really be good soldiers out in the field. That's why I was always thinking, why they lower the mandatory of the fitness tests in regards entry of military or just entry of the armed service? Because they know majority Americans are not at the proper shape. And usually the diet and the food and the manipulation of food has something to do with it. But overall, America today, we talking about preparing for any form of physical armed conflict with other nations. We're not really ready like that. It's a lot of people that don't know. So let's go. And if you have any serious questions, put in super chat.
I'm trying my best here to kind of like.
It should be all men.
You think it should be all men?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to come back to what you said really quick here. You did kind of, when I asked you the question, you brought up the wage gap, like equal pay for equal work or whatever. Do you think that that should also apply to like police officers? Like they're doing the same job, right?
Like between
And like firefighters. So like should men and women be paid equally?
like between police and firefighters.
Yeah, like with police and firefighters?
Yeah.
Okay. But
Can I ask a question really quick?
Yeah.
For our two Australian friends, can I ask a question for you? Yeah. Do you think men OnlyFans models should make the same as female OnlyFans models?
Great question.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Now they're talking about OnlyFans. Oh my God. You can't make this. Where's Kevin? Hold on, man.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up! God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
All right, let's go team, man. Let's go team, man. I had to do that.
Like,
So you'd be willing to take a pay cut?
what do you mean by
Like
that?
they take it out of your pocket.
Well, because men, when it comes to online,
it's a tragedy.
what's the word I'm looking for? Online
Adult content.
presenting yourself, earn fractional what women earn, like 1/10.
Nobody wants to see balls.
I mean, I've always been told like the gay people actually get a lot of subscribers, like more than women.
We're going to run this experiment. Me and Charlie are going to open up an OF account and we're going to see.
No.
And we're going to. But not together. Not together.
Let's just
our
take
own separate.
For example, the best paid male model in the world makes about $3 million a year. The best paid female model is like $35 to $40 million a year.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not even close. It's like a 10x, and it's almost across.
Oh, you ladies, come on. Don't be so ignorant. Ladies, oh my goodness. How's that a surprise to any woman said, oh my? What do you expect? You think that if you sell your body, your box, all parts of your, even your feet, you think not one woman has the capability, and not all women makes $1 million, much as they make 6 figures. Some will make under $1,000 a month. Let's keep real. That you don't think that no woman on the internet has the capability to make 30 to potentially 40 million a year. I know a few women right now, OnlyFans, that's been marketing, does that. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Yeah, delusional. That's delusional. I'm gonna look up the numbers. Let's keep going. I'm just gonna show them.
All disciplines.
I didn't even know that myself.
And so in OnlyFans, I imagine it to be the case. I mean, for example, I'm not a fan of pornography at all. I read about it in the book how I'm not a fan of it. However, in online pornography, female actresses earn way more than male actresses. Not even close.
Well, isn't that because of the subscribers? They're more male-based. There's
Sure.
like, what is it, 60%
Oh, there's reason,
of men
yeah,
or something like
for
that?
sure,
I don't
yeah.
wanna
Well,
just-
men consume pornography more than women, women
Right.
increasingly so.
Right.
So I guess for my two Australian friends, do you think that there should be a law that says that you should earn the same as your male counterparts?
DRJSR 2019 donated $300. Show the panel the opening scene of Saving Private Ryan and see who would still believe the battlefield is a place for women. Communism is
chat.
of the devil and destroys the human, which breaks society.
Pull that link up. DRJSR, thank you, man.
Yeah,
Come
so
back to
just
this. Thank you.
I don't think that at all. I think it's just up to how much you post. Like, it's up to you how much money you earn by how much you are posting on your.
So it's about merit, creativity, ingenuity.
It's about like consistency kind of thing, like
and trying to find the right niche and everything for yourself.
Nick, you want to pull that up?
So therefore, if there was a law generally in America where it says that women should be paid the same as men, you'd be against that
Well,
because it would apply to OnlyFans, because it could harm you. See, you're both in an industry where women earn way more than men.
yeah.
So you'd be, because progress is easy to support until it hits your bank account.
There
I
are
have
many
a-
men in
Nick, pull up
OnlyFans.
the
They're
photo,
just
please.
the managers.
No, of course.
This is actually I went to a protest. This is me. It's This is like potato quality. Equal pay for men on OnlyFans. I went to a protest. I had a bunch of crazy protest signs. And so, yeah, I think men should be paid equally on OF. That would be fair, right?
I have a question though. Do you guys set your own prices? So how come the man just doesn't set his own price equal to the woman?
Because no one buys it.
Exactly. So how would you guys can implement that? You guys paid this, get the same.
No, of course, it's market driven.
Yeah, exactly. So if the law gets passed, they would still make more than the man.
Well, no,
because they have more subscribers, right? And not because they're getting paid more.
It depends how it's written, but in the abstract, it would say that equal work for equal pay. That's literally what they just marched in the streets for.
So your question is not so much as like getting paid by the same rate pay, but you're saying annual pay?
It depends. So let's say there was a company that employs OnlyFans models, and then they take a cut and they do all the work for you, okay? And they employ male and female OnlyFans models, and they both work 10 hours a day. The female OnlyFans models will earn $1 million a year for the company, and the males will only bring in $100,000 a year for the company. Should they have to pay both of them the same because it's equal work for equal pay? Or should they give more money to who's actually bringing money to the door, the women for the company?
I don't know. I don't have like an opinion on like that kind of stuff. Like,
I think you both know the answer. You're just afraid to say it. That
like,
women should be able to earn what they earn and they provide in the OnlyFans model. I find OnlyFans to be disgusting. That's a separate issue we talk later. But I'm just trying to find this. However, how is that any different in a corporate environment when men are more likely to travel for work?
Oh, for a side note, for the chat room, if you're using obscure language or all caps, how Google works, it will not pop up in my side of the device. So for a warning's sake, please be very respectful in the chat room in regards to your language, because if it doesn't go by Google, you need to change and rephrase your comment again. Just a side note. Now, in regards to the OnlyFans models and who makes who, I found some alarming numbers. What's good, Art New Style? How you doing, brother? Art, you should have came here early, man. I have a lot in the building, man. A lot of people watching, man. Art, I'm not sure if you know this or anybody knew this, and this was very frightening. The top performers in regards to revenue of OnlyFans models, which I would like to call them some said they're prostitutes, but it's not a question. The top models right now, as it states, the top OnlyFans models reports making 30 to 40 million. The ones that do make this money annually is Sophia Rain, who has reportedly earned 43 million in 1 year and has been posting proof of her 76 million in cumulative earnings. Other women who have reported made over 30 million on the platform in a year, including Iggy Azalea and Bad Baby. The top male OnlyFans model is, and you're gonna be shocked when I tell y'all this, his name is Tyga, the rap artist named Tyga. This man made a whopping upwards to 92 million per year. You can't make this shit up. Oh my goodness. Tyga made $92 million over these hoes. You can't make this up. I thought the women were making more money than the men. I want artists, a short artist, mind you, that I don't think he does rap anymore. Does he still do rap? Now I think about it. How this dude is doing OnlyFans, he's making roughly 92 million a year. No joke. This is what I found when I searched this. I might double do some more insight search, but this was the numbers. He makes upwards to 92 million a year with a subscription roughly as high as $7.69 something, reportedly, maybe monthly or whatever. And Safari Samuels, Reno Gold, and Nikado Avocado. And Safari Samuels makes roughly 22.9 million per year. And under Tyga's short burst, this is why he made so much money. So I'm gonna let that sink in for those that will made this far to this replay. Hopefully. I hope this was clear. So let's move on with the content ahead. And please like the stream. Streams are free. I think likes are free. Last time I checked. Yeah, likes. Yeah. All right. So please like the stream. Let's go.
They're more likely to go make the second or third call for a promotion or a raise. So the equal pay for equal work movement kind of falls apart when it comes down to online female modeling, doesn't it?
Honestly, I don't think like I think it should be fair. Sorry, I think it should be fair between like how much they earn, but that it is actually up to like how much you want to earn by the amount of posting you're doing. If you're not posting anything, you're not going to make just as much as that girl that is posting all the time.
Okay.
Yeah. Me and Imogen don't earn the same. She posts more than me, and like she makes more than me.
Is that fair?
Well, I think it is fair because it's up to me.
I agree.
I think
So shouldn't we structure all of society that way? Who works the hardest gets the most?
Yes. So
We
I
agree.
like-
The feminism is dead.
Let's say I work 2 hours a day, Imogen's working 8 hours a day doing TikToks, Reels, and all of that stuff, like making content for the OF wall and everything. She's earning more than me,
Private chat.
but then I'm being like lazy and I'm laying back. I'm not making that much. So it's
You're
it's the
making an
same-
argument for
it's-
market-based capitalism pretty well.
I think that it's up to the
Baby, it's not because you're lazy. The honest answer, I'm gonna tell you secretly, you ain't that girl, sweetie. You ain't it, baby. It's just that simple. I could tell from head to toe, you don't have the capability, much less the work ethic, if you have any, and really the clientele or the network to pull in $1 million or more a year on your OF. I think most majority Western women, if either here in America or outside America, don't have what it takes to make $1 million a year. And Sophia Rain is not a celebrity per se. She's just a regular, I think, Hispanic woman from Florida, I believe, that was lucky to bank in making $43 million. I'm just saying. Anyhow, let's go.
men. If he was to work just as much as Imogen, doing 8 hours a day, then he should just earn just as much. But then
By
you gotta-
law or just let it happen?
Just let it happen.
Okay, and if he falls short and he ends up earning half?
Then just work harder because she's been working hard.
Got it. So if you look at a big company like Apple,
Yeah.
and I tell you that the female engineers earn less than the male engineers, just let it happen, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just let it happen. No?
Oh no, I agree.
Oh yeah, just let it happen.
Yeah.
Okay, I agree.
Yeah.
That we are wrecking new age feminism here.
Destroyed. Annihilated. Okay. I want to come back really quick. You brought up the wage gap. Let's see. Wait. Hold on. You brought up the wage gap. You're saying, well, should be paid equally in, if you're doing the same job. Is that correct? So
Yeah.
and do you believe that there is a gender wage gap? Since you brought it up into the mic.
I mean, that's what we've been taught in school.
Then it must be true, right?
That's what you've been taught in school. Okay, so, shoot, I missed my notes on the specific thing with the wage gap. This is kind of an interesting stat that we found out recently. So what are your thoughts on, for example, they actually found that Asian women out-earn white men. Do you subscribe to that wage gap?
I don't know.
Nick, could you pull up the data on that? So median weekly earnings of full-time workers, white men versus Asian women. So you have white men, Asian women there. Recently Asian women, you guys are killing it. Good job, Maddie. Good job, Maddie, back there.
Why is that?
You guys are killing it.
Do we know why?
Good for you guys. Cool. Different, I don't know.
Okay.
Is it a skill issue? Something like this?
I don't know, man. But is this perhaps evidence of Asian women oppressing white men? I think that's what it is.
Oh my God.
I think Asian women are oppressing white. I'm kidding. Men.
Or just working harder.
Could be.
Yeah.
Sometimes merit explains a lot of this.
Almost all the time.
Oh, I remember my question.
I agree with you.
Sports. So, when it comes to basketball, soccer, there's been a bunch of articles on this. Do you think that women in sports should be paid the same as the men in sports? So like men's basketball, women's basketball. I want to start with you. I'll open it up to the rest of the panel.
I mean, I think that generally the men's sports are watched more, so I think it would make sense that they would get paid more because they have more like views and
anybody want to
sponsorships.
Say, I agree with that. I mean,
anyone object to the differential payment though in sports? Should it be equal in sports? Should it be equal?
Check him out.
Female basketball players should be paid the same as male basketball
It's
players.
like the most based panel ever.
Well,
You're talking about pro sports, not like the Title IX stuff in colleges and like spending on
professional
sports.
sports.
Okay.
Professional sports, yeah.
let's say like where I grew up in San Antonio. I mean, we had the Spurs.
You don't have thoughts on this?
No,
No
I feel
thoughts?
like it's equal. Yeah, that's fair. If men's
No,
sports
but so
are watched a lot
women
more
don't
than-
earn as
Yeah,
much
that's
as men
fair.
do. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Reasonable. All right. And by the way, JSR, I'll just quickly adjust your message that came through. By the way, I've just paused them temporarily really quick just to get through a few things. I'll let a few of them come in. JSR, yes, the scene from Saving Private Ryan, absolutely excellent. Also, All Quiet on the Western Front, it's available on Netflix. Strongly encourage you guys to watch that. It kind of shows the just savagery and brutality of warfare. Okay, we hit that. We've hit the draft stuff. Actually, really quick on the draft stuff, Charlie, I got to push back here against you a little bit here. I'm in favor, Charlie, of women being drafted. Now, here's why. You guys to watch that. It kind of shows the just savagery and brutality of warfare. Okay, we hit that. We've hit the draft stuff. Actually, really quick on the draft stuff, Charlie, I got to push back here against you a little bit here. I'm in favor, Charlie, of women being drafted. Now, here's why, Charlie. First off, actually, that just occurred to me, the whole well, then they would just get pregnant.
The fertility thing.
They'd just go and get pregnant to avoid deployment. Service guarantees citizenship. That's the other thing. And then also, I say frontline combat too. Soften them up a little bit. Then when the men come in, soften up the enemy. So send the women first,
Right.
and then
distract,
soften them up, and then the guys can come in and finish the job.
Right, like a shield.
Do you concur?
To use women as human shields?
No, not as human shields.
As a stupid war?
No. But throw them in, soften them up a little bit.
Oh, use throw them forward as
the combat.
What are we supposed to do? Flirt with them? Stop them
We can come in and take
attacking?
all the credit.
Oh, yeah, I'm not sure I'm on board for that.
Okay.
They do use
Well,
women
think-
as
think it
honeypots.
over,
That
think it
does
over a
exist.
little bit. Okay, so I did want to ask, I don't know why I wrote this down. I wrote down capitalism for some reason. Just really quick, is everybody in favor of capitalism, or would you prefer some other?
I mean, it creates problems the over usage of adult content, for example. I think that's a product of capitalism, and
So there would be no OnlyFans if we were communist or whatever?
I think they're probably not.
Charlie,
There's probably still going to be some
pretty
runaround.
bad. Maybe we should-
But I mean, no, that
we
doesn't
should
mean
go
that. No, one doesn't negate the other.
Okay, fair enough.
Still, yeah.
So, in favor of, I don't know why I wrote this down, but okay, in favor of capitalism, or would you prefer socialism, communism?
Capitalism is okay.
Okay.
I say it's fuck capitalism, actually, but I also, that's the only option we have at the moment. I'm not for socialist or communism or any of that, so,
Okay.
yeah.
So you acknowledge that there's issues within capitalism, but despite those issues, it is currently the best system that we have.
Exactly.
Okay.
I don't really have an opinion.
So if, let's say we were communist, you would not be able to, if it was you wouldn't be able to dye your hair blonde. If it was
How do you know my
communist.
hair's dyed?
What's that?
How do you know my hair's dyed?
Just a guess.
Just a guess. Just a hunch, you know?
Oh, so like, can you just define it then? So that
Hair dye?
No,
or
like
define what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna defer.
What is communism?
Charlie Kirk here.
I'm not saying this.
Or
Do they
like,
do
why
they
did
do they
he, like,
do they
bring
teach
up-
communism in college anymore?
Or like, I'm just saying, like, why do you bring up me being blonde?
Well,
Or,
he
like,
was
dye my
he was making a tongue-in-cheek point of saying that in communism it's total control of one's life, totalitarianism. So you can get stupid and arbitrary rules like that. In
You probably wouldn't be able to buy hair dye.
Yeah, communist dictatorships. Yeah,
Maybe they prioritize that. I don't know.
maybe.
Here, just show of hands. Anybody against capitalism? So I'll just move it along.
I think total unfettered capitalism is a little brutal. That's why we have, antitrust laws and some things to regulate when
Sure.
it's completely unfettered. But for sure, I'm going to get it wrong, but there's somebody famous who said it's a terrible system, but better than all the others, right?
Sure. Okay, I think that's nobody. I'll let a couple of these chats come in. They're going to come in just a second. Then I want to come back to that clip we saw because we didn't really get a full reaction to it. Then we have a couple things other things we need to react to. Sorry, guys, we're just letting a few of these come in. And I'm going to shoot. Sorry, guys, we're on a delay here. By the way, guys, Charlie's book, Right-Wing
it's
Revolution.
going great. You guys can all get a copy.
Oh, another side note. If y'all know, Charlie came up with a book about college and either the advantage or disadvantage of college. I think that'd be a must read for those that's interested in looking at Charlie Kirk's work. Trust me. I know proponent for it, but I understand the premise of the book, why he wrote it. Let's continue. And last much, they say he's a college dropout, so makes sense. All right, let's go. Praise.
$300.
Thank you, Doc.
Bangs Jr. There are more women than men doctors in primary care, and there is a specialty exclusively devoted to women's health. Men do not. How are women patients underserved? Cheers, Charlie.
Do you want to address that really quick? How are female patients underserved?
I don't feel like addressing that right now. We've already moved way past that.
Do you want to add like one little thing?
I'm good.
I'll ask you a question. We're not going to debate it, at least now anyways. Do you think that part of your position on that has to do with abortion rights?
Yeah,
Okay.
slightly, yeah.
Okay, I'll write that down, perhaps if time permitting. We'll get to that in a bit. Joe Murphy, hold on, where was the other one? Sorry, guys, a couple of these chats are coming in. I'm going to read them, and then we'll get back to the reaction to that clip that we pulled up. Kirk, can you make the same argument about equal pay about any other institution but OnlyFans?
Yeah, healthcare.
Okay.
Female nurses earn more than male nurses.
Thank you.
And there are also more female nurses than male nurses.
All right.
And also teaching as well. Elementary school teaching. There's also more women that are OBGYNs than men, OBGYNs.
All right.
That's
and
just
then
off the top of my head.
Cheeks here says, I'm extremely disappointed that nobody on the panel knows what real feminism is. In extreme, short, feminism is the destruction of the nuclear family. Patriarchy never was about equality. Drizzle, drizzle. Okay, thank you, Cheeks. Appreciate it. By the way, if you can, just scoot into the table a little bit. You're just getting cut out of frame there. Okay, thank you, guys. I'm going to pause it just temporarily just to get through our next couple things, and then I'll get the soup chats later. So going back to, if you guys recall that clip that we were looking at, so you guys all remember essentially she's this kind of more liberal, progressive woman who's like upset that she can't find, at least among the men that she wants to date, that match her values, and
I see a comment, and I'm going to agree with Zara. She writes, schools and college is only there to form you into a worker for huge companies. That's why many companies have their fingers in politics. And we go even further, Zara. Did you know that since 2009 that you cannot default on your student loans? And the reason why that is because the next stage, because a lot of people are going into school hopefully to get work for big corporations, they can't find work, much as they're not hiring everybody like that. So what happens is you get yourself in certain debt, depending on what career field you take, right? You get the right one or wrong one, and you accumulate this debt. And in return, by accumulating so much debt, you have to go back to school to prolong you from refraining from paying the debt, or you make payment arrangements. And most Americans, once you get through a threshold, which I think the limit is for most people that sometimes don't make an attempt to pay their debts, is when it pushes over 30 to 40K. Most people will try to either defer or, default. And the United States at the time know this. So what they did under Obama, they said and put rules in a bill and law in effect where you cannot no longer default on student loan. So how much debt you think more America's going to be now since 2009? Let that sink in. Let's go.
Match her progressive, liberal, feminist values. She doesn't get the traditional treatment from those guys. What are your thoughts on that, on the clip? And also, do you think liberal women deserve chivalrous treatment? So I think we were... I'll just ask you, do you think liberal women deserve chivalrous treatment?
Can you explain more on that?
So, do you want me to repeat the question, or? So, okay, do you think liberal women deserve, do you know chivalry, right?
Yeah.
The guy opening the car door, paying for the first date,
Walking on the left side of you on the street instead of the right side, so he's walking closer to the car in case something happens. Sorry,
do you agree on that?
So do you think liberal women, because chivalrous treatment I would categorize as traditional treatment, but it's not clear to me if liberal progressive women are traditional women.
So you're asking me
Do you think liberal women, do you think non-traditional women are deserving of traditional treatment or chivalrous treatment?
No, I don't know.
All right, what about you?
We all like the cute Asian chick. She sounds and plays like she doesn't know or she's unaware, but it's so cute how she conducts herself. I don't know if I can knock her, but at least she's honest. Let's go.
I don't think it's for me to say what people deserve and don't deserve, but I do think that if you're dating liberal men, you're less likely to get the sort of traditional types of things. We see that in Scandinavia, for instance, where women have even more power and money per capita than here, and so men are very 50-50.
Right.
So
I'll just get your guys' answers again if you already answered it. Do you think liberal women deserve chivalrous treatment?
Of course.
And you said you've received it.
Yeah,
correct?
every guy I've dated.
Because you consider yourself progressive, right?
Yeah.
Liberal, feminist. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not hardcore liberal,
Right,
but I'm progressive, and I don't see a reason to ever date someone who wouldn't give me chivalry. It's kind of like what?
I think every woman deserves the wonderful experience of a man courting her and treating her well and respectful.
I agree. I think that they deserve to experience. Yeah.
And so you deserve that, correct?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
I deserve it.
Yeah, I think women or liberal women do deserve that.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that as well.
I think ladies deserve to be treated like ladies, and not all women are ladies.
Well put. Okay.
See, I think everybody deserves the experience of at least once of having a chivalrous guy. I don't believe that all women want the chivalry.
Sure.
Especially the more progressive feminist.
That's true.
Okay. Charlie, I think you recall the clip.
Yep. I mean, you don't always get what you deserve in life. But yes, every woman should be treated the same, regardless of their political views. But if you are a progressive and you go out of your way to go, date femboys, then don't be surprised when they can't even hold the door when they open it.
Well, I have a question for you, Charlie. I mean, do you think the type of men that are more likely to give women that more traditional treatment, do you think they would lean more conservative or liberal?
Chivalrous treatment?
Chivalrous.
Oh, conservative, without a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt. Because, and that's a generalization. I mean, there's exceptions to every rule, but the vast majority of conservative men would, at least everything I understand, would consider it to be insane not to treat the lady with chivalry. Because the conservative movement in general is much more understanding and appreciative and trying to protect the natural order of male-female differences and distinctions. And that's one of our differences. Do you have a thought on that?
Yeah, I have a question. I completely agree with what you said right there. But what would you say about incels who describe themselves as part of the conservative community?
Incels? So,
Don't do it, Charlie. Don't do it. She put you in the trick bag. Let's hear his response.
they should go find a wife. That's what I say, regardless. I mean, I think that it's destructive if we have single men is a big problem. In the Bible, it says, God said to Adam, it's not good for man to be alone. Men being single over 30 is a big problem. Mm-hmm. And by the way, women being single over 30 is also a big problem, and I talk about that. But single men are more likely to commit crimes, more likely to go to jail, more likely to get into drugs, more likely to be isolated and distant on society. Men need women as much as women need men.
So if it was up to you, you wouldn't allow the incels to be a part of the...
Well, allow. I mean, if you believe my value system, but if I ever confront it, I'm going to tell you, get your life together, get your act together.
That's valid.
Stop being a loser.
Valid.
That's very interesting that Charlie put that in the atmosphere that a man should find a wife if he's not, pursuing a woman or having a wife, which that is commendable. Most men should try it if they can, right? That is a high risk. He could commit crime. I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna definitely look up, see that's valid. All right, let's go.
So,
this is actually a perfect segue into our next segment. Charlie, you came under a bit of heat.
I've never said anything controversial.
Never. You got some backlash. You got slammed. That's what the news articles. Nick, can you pull those
give
up?
them a trigger warning before we? Yeah. This is a spicy clip. But you guys can say whatever you want about me, but it's not the full context. Just so we're clear. But I did say it.
Yeah. So Nick, pull those up. There's some news articles. You're always in the news, Charlie. But you said, and I think they're probably taking you a little bit out of context, but Arizona
I said
Republic.
It, but that's not the totality of the point, right?
Birth control is why women are so bitter.
That's
slammed.
That's not the only reason.
You got slammed for calling women the third. Not. And
I said hormonal birth control messes with women's brains, which is true.
And then you faced backlash for saying women in their 30s are past their prime.
Again, not exactly what I said, but that's okay.
I do, if...
you could defend me.
By the way, so we're going to pull up a couple of the clips. If they exclude any additional context, you can let me know. We can pull up the whole thing.
No, it's fine. I don't care. I mean, it's fine.
Or just tell us what the additional context is.
No, I hope you get the spiciest clips. So
okay, we'll get the spiciest clips. So we'll start with the first one. There's 3 total. Nick, if you can go ahead. Go for it.
A lot of them are on birth control too, and birth control really screws up female brains, by the way. Every single one of you need to make sure that your loved ones are not on birth control. It increases depression, anxiety, suicidal ideation. Birth control is the #1 most prescribed medication for young ladies under the age of 25. They will give young ladies birth control for pimples, for acne, to control their moods, their period. It is awful. It's terrible, and it creates very angry and bitter young ladies and young women. That bitterness then manifests into a political party that is the bitter party. I mean, the Democrat Party is all about bring us your bitterness, and we'll give you free stuff. It's like we'll trade you. Bitterness for stuff, essentially. That's like the Democrat Party. A lot of them are on birth control, too.
We can play it again.
Yeah, exactly.
To be clear, I meant hormonal birth control, to be very clear. So, yes.
I think it'd be interesting to at least hear from the women. Is anybody here currently on hormonal birth control?
No, I actually hated birth control and how it made me feel. So
do you sympathize with what I was clumsily trying to say?
A little bit. A little bit.
How did it make you, can I ask, how did it make you feel?
I was kind of confused when you mentioned, what was that you said? What causes them to go into that political party? They start
bitterness.
Getting
we
bitter?
can get into that, but I'm more focused on how did it make you feel? Like, were you depressed, anxious?
Oh yeah, it made me feel horrible. My skin was awful, and I didn't feel like I was aligned with my life, but maybe I'm just too in tune, but it's not better or worse.
I'm also not on birth control. I also didn't like my experience with it.
Okay.
I've never been on birth control.
I took it years past in my late 20s, and I also didn't like the way it made me feel. It's heavy progesterone, a lot of depression, and yeah, I no longer have to deal with that.
I used to take it when I was younger, but I didn't agree with it, and the way it made me feel like sick, gave me a bit of acne, and I think it's the reason why I did come up with endometriosis.
Wow.
Yeah.
So sorry.
So I didn't agree with it.
I'm not on birth control, but I used to be on the pill. Personally, for me, I didn't experience any side effects. My skin was really clear, luckily. But I stopped taking it because I was just scared of the side effects that it might have.
Rip. Hold on. Keep going, guys. Keep going.
I've never been on it before. No.
Never
Okay.
been on it.
I'd say in addition to the side effects, there's also been a couple studies that have come out showing that women that are on hormonal birth control look at more the beta guys, and then when
a quick pause. I've looked at that data, that information of what Charlie Kirk said, that a man that is single, not married, they said they're more prone to commit crimes, violence, etc., etc., etc. From looking at 3 different search engines and all that, the verdict is in. That is indeed false. One particular search model says here, do single men ages 30 and above have a higher risk to engage in criminality? It says here, age crime curves. Criminology research show crime, especially violence, property crimes, etc., are late teens to mid-20s, and they have declined sharply after 30 years. By 30, most men age out of crime regardless of marital status. Marriage stability effects. Marriage is associated with lower crime rates among men. That's what it says. But studies suggest stable relationships reduce risk-taking, providing social bonds, and discouraging criminal activity. Men who remain single might not experience those stabilities effects, but it does not mean being single makes them criminals. It is more above lifestyle patterns and social supports. That's one. And the conclusion, it says no. But marriage does. If you're married, you do normally go and take less risk. Let's be honest. Next search engine in regards to the same question. And this is what it says. Single men, including those aged 30 and above, generally have a higher risk of engaging in criminal activity compared to those of married peers, overall risk, etc., etc. The key points from research: marriage is protective. Numerous studies show that marriage is associated with lower crime rates among men. Marriage tends to anchor individuals, reducing the likelihood of engaging in crime, especially revision among previous convicted men, or they go back, repeated offenders, going back. The marital status matters more than age after 30. While young and single men 18 to 29 are at the high risk for criminality, staying single into one's 30s and beyond is still associated with a greater likelihood of criminal behavior compared to married men of the same age. However, overall crime risk naturally declines when age peaks in the late teens, then early 20s, and drop in the 30s and beyond. So this is like a mixed bag in regards, if you're a single man, or what they ask the question, if these guys are incels and all that stuff, that they're more prone for criminality. This is what it says here on this search engine. And it will say that they do have a higher risk from this search engine of criminality, but it's not giving, quantifying that this is really factual. And the last search engine is here. I asked 3 different search engines. And it says here, do single men, same question. I got the response. The answer is no. Single men aged 30 and above do not have a higher risk of engaging in criminality compared to their marital counterparts. In fact, extensive criminologist research show the opposite. Marriage is associated with reduced risk, but criminal behaviors and redivisions of men, including those over 30, this marriage effects is one of the most consistent findings in life course criminology. Would marriage act as a protective factor, though the mechanism, like informal social controls, reduce peer influence and increase states of conformity? Below is a summary, and it shows the same thing, which I'm not getting to because really truly I just want to give you what I found. So overall conclusion, by looking at 3 out of the search engines, 2 said and confirmed that no, if you're over 30 and you're still single, you're not more likely to engage in any form of criminality. So what Charlie Kirk just laid out is false. And if you guys don't believe me, I would say you do your own thorough research to really quantify if this is true or not from Mr. Kirtland. Now, saying that, let's continue on with the tape. Fair use.
Off of it, you're looking for more the alpha type guy. And I would say my experience, I was on hormonal birth control because I had endometriosis and PCOS.
Oh, wow.
And my ex-husband was very much a beta. Had hysterectomy, decided I wanted to divorce him, and I am now very much with a very dominant alpha male.
Awesome.
But yeah, terrible side effects.
Do you feel, those of you that were on birth control, that they properly informed you of the possible side effects before you went on the pill?
No.
They didn't let you know about the spiritual side effects, which was like hanging out or getting guys who were like less of your caliber or whatever that was for you. Because I had the similar experience of like unalignment generally.
So you felt that you were attracted to different people while you were on the pill?
Sure. That's amazing. It was
yeah.
only like a few months, but yeah.
Maddie, can you fix that, please? Okay.
There's an interesting study at my alma mater that they found out exotic dancers made way more money when they were not on hormonal birth control because they're not sure either men could sense it, like maybe smell or
pheromones,
or maybe we don't know, or maybe women liked men better. They don't know for sure, but it made a distinct difference in their income. Go figure.
Okay, Nick, there's another clip. Can you also just see the volume on
Really
Twitter?
quick, you said you had a question, though, about the second part of it, of my comment?
Oh, yeah. What did you mean about they were distressed? Was it distressed?
I said that bitter.
Oh, bitterness.
Yeah, if you get too far in your life, most young ladies deep down want to find a partner, they want to get married, and they want to have children. There's exceptions to that. But if you suppress that for too long, it can create a lot of bitterness.
Okay. I can see that.
Nick, can you pull up the other clip? It is maxed. Okay. Sorry, chat. The volume's a little low on these clips.
Now he's saying, get your kids off birth control. And praise God, they shouldn't be on birth control if they're your kids.
No Christian parent should ever allow their daughter on birth control, ever. Period. That is, if your daughter's on birth control or granddaughter, get them off immediately.
Now he's saying,
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
And again, I meant I was using a filler term of hormonal birth control.
Okay. And then the next clip, I think, is the one that drew the most ire, not just from both sides.
Can I say this ahead of time?
Sure.
So a better way I could have said this is that as you get older, your dating pool shrinks. I said it fine, but like there's one word that's clumsy there. And I met my wife Erica when she was in her late 20s. We're now super happily married, and we have 2 kids.
You did nothing wrong, Charlie.
Huh? No. I want to be clear though, because again, no one is above criticism or reproach. However, the essence of what I said is 100% true. That's what I will say. Is that you can kind of sometimes stumble over your words, but the essence is 100% true.
Got it. All right, let's play the clip. Girls are going to react to this. Go ahead.
We've basically told a great generation of young women, don't get married, don't have kids, go get a corporate job, and it's created mass political hysteria. And then in their early 30s, they get really upset because they say, the boys don't want to date me anymore because they're not at their prime. And people get mad when I say that. Well, it's just true. If you're in your early 30s, I'm sorry. It's like you're not as attractive in the dating pool as you were in the early 20s. But again, you have your corporate job and cats, so I thought we've basically...
There you go.
Was the audio boosted on that one, Nick? Oh, okay. Yeah, it was super low. Anyways, your reaction to the clip, starting with you. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Where's the crickets? You can cue the crickets.
Yeah, I'm gonna play.
You can say whatever you want. I
really don't have anything to say about that. I mean, yeah, the dating pool does shrink. That's very true.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Any reaction to that?
Also, I don't really feel like I have to make a comment on that. There's really not much to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What about you?
Sure, dating pool shrinks. Also, some women want a job and cats, and for them, that's a good time. Again, I lean toward a world in which people can do what they want.
Mm-hmm.
Sound like an anarchist, right?
I honestly don't have an opinion.
We suck.
Yeah, I know.
Here,
I thought when you told me you were going to play my tapes, Brian, I was going to get screamed at and people were going to throw stuff. I guess I'm not as controversial as I thought I was.
Yeah, see, you got a warm reception here.
Yeah, I don't know.
They co-sign everything.
Run for politics.
We don't have to answer now, but I do have a question. If you want to make it cooler culturally, for women, young women, to want to be mothers and be married and, anti-Steinem stuff, then there's got to be a long-term plan, right, to change the culture.
Yeah, and I mean, that's part of what I'm first trying to live what I believe and build a family, because I think that's important. Then I'm also trying to advocate this in a culture where it's not always celebrated. And I would love to just really go quickly around the horn, super quick. If you had to choose between, if you could only pick one, marriage or career, which would you choose? If you had to choose. Can we do that?
Yeah, can I add one thing? So is it great, amazing career or beautiful, healthy family?
That's correct.
Okay, that was a
if you
good
had to choose. Now, you can have both in life, but if you could only pick one.
I would say marriage.
Marriage.
Yeah, the healthy family.
Family.
Marriage.
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 Marriage. And can I answer the other question?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So I actually want to back him up on, you're not really in your prime once you turn 30. I know I got married at age 23. I mean, I was pretty, I was an athlete, married the wrong guy, became obese. Yeah, not now, obviously. But yeah, once I divorced him after I turned 30, the dating pool was vastly smaller.
Well, thank you for defending me. I could have used you a couple months ago.
Yeah,
So
I'm in Phoenix, so.
No, that's right. We should talk. No, and the last question that I'll ask is, I want you to think about it. If every single one of you said marriage, are you making deliberate steps every day to get closer to that goal, or are you making steps to get closer to the career goal?
Starting with you, go ahead.
Because I believe that in a marriage, since you're coming together as a contractual agreement, I do want to provide to a certain extent, just in case my husband can't. I am going towards the career.
Okay.
At the moment.
No, and I only ask just, and again, we don't have to go on the horn. I think it's important, though, to answer your question. Far too often, we do not tell young ladies, if you have to prioritize one more than the other, would you rather have your tombstone say, CEO of a shoe company, or loving mother of 3 children and a wife? And if you would rather have loving mother and, of 3 children and a wife, then you should prioritize that more in your early 20s than your career or going to college. Because the tragedy is there are far more single early 30-something women in this country than married 30-something women in this country. It's the fertility rate's the lowest ever been, marriage rate's the lowest ever been, and it's because we tell young ladies you can wait forever to do this, and that's not the case for everybody. It's the case for some people, but not the case for everybody, and I think it's a tragedy.
I think while even you have a family, you should...
I'm trying here, man.
Even when you have a family, you should still have what happens when the kids are done and they graduate and they move on out of the nest? What does a woman do then?
Grandkids.
Does a woman just take care of... Well, that's assuming
that's
that
a really
your
smart question, though.
to.
In fact, we are doing everything the opposite. We should say, focus on family formation in your early 20s, then go to college in your late 30s.
Sure. But what if you marry
Because college
the wrong
will always
person?
be there.
Or...
That's a very fair point. Love and life come with a huge risk.
Sure.
But the greater risk is dying alone.
But I feel like we also have to acknowledge the fact that one of the reasons why so many women don't want to prioritize marriage right now, just straight out of you're 18, let's work on getting married and having kids and then think about college, is because college gives you so many opportunities that you can focus and work on that directly. You come out of college, you have all these open doors. Whereas if you're 18 and you decide not to go to college because you want to prioritize a marriage, that can go wrong in so many other ways where you have no backup plan. Now you're 25 making minimum wage, so much farther behind towards a marriage than the woman who already graduated college, who has financial stability to be able to have kids and provide for her kids. So that's where
that's a fair point. You could.
Before he answered, that's a fair point. But these ladies got to understand, there's always an open window of where you could possibly get a decent or fair man to make a life. And so when at the roughly age, late 20s, early 30s to get married. Because I said the data now shows as presence, I think it's 29. I'm going to double check before we continue this stream. Is that the longer you wait, the less the pool you're going to get of an actual provider male, roughly. Because the older you are, most men that once they get older and they start to really get established, then I could go in the pool and get some woman the same age. They're gonna go maybe a few years younger, maybe 5 or 6, 7 years younger. That's why they emphasize a lot of you ladies. You gotta really pick. I wish you guys could do both, but most of y'all are not doing both. Y'all doing one thing or other, and that has changed. So let's keep going. Praise.
Could always go back to college. I'll reiterate that. However, that's not the problem in America. The problem right now, as it is, because the problem you're talking about was the problem in the 1960s, which is what Gloria Steinem said. If my husband left, I would have no way to feed myself. That was the core essence of her critique. Like, if my husband left, I would be having to go to get food stamps because I have no skills except being a stay-at-home mom, which, by the way, is like the most important thing ever, being a stay-at-home mom, but that's a separate issue. So, but right now in America, we've gone to the other extreme, which is you could delay it, you can delay it, you can have kids whenever you want, and we have 15 to 20 million single women in the country that have great careers.
And I feel like another reason why women right now, it's so hard for them to just prioritize having kids is because if you haven't gone to college, got that education, you don't have a husband who also is very financially stable, who's gonna provide for those kids? You know what I mean? We're in times where it's so
I don't
iffy.
sympathize with that argument as much. First of all, if you get married, by definition, your costs go down because you have two people then paying for rent, right, or for a mortgage. So you can actually consolidate income.
Correct.
But studies actually show men earn more as soon as they get married and have children. Something primal kicks into us where we take a second job, we work extra hours, we figure it out. Men are actually men are super simple, women are very complicated. Men, as long as we feel appreciated, we feel noticed, and we feel special, and we see our role and our purpose, we will go to the ends of the earth to feed our family. We'll figure it out.
True.
And I think we're underselling American men. We say, oh, you know, I wait until I'm 27 or 28. That's fine, but look at the cost of that. And the cost is, right now, just as we're clear, we are on pace 10 years out from now, we're gonna have 20 million 40-something women that never got married or have kids, but they have big apartments and they go on lots of vacations. And I also think that's one of the reasons we're seeing the suicide rate, the anxiety problems, the depression problems in our country. Do you have a thought? Or
Yeah, I just feel like how many people that are like, or how many males that are 20 are like ready to get married and like ready to
Great
have a
question.
family?
So the question is, which one leads which?
Well, to answer that question, it's simple. They said men are still going to college, right? And you're going to college. So you start from there. I think there was a book that Obsidian said that they told women, and I think another professor laid out with the data, said, you ladies, your best bet is getting the man. If you're in school and he's in school, you're better off just get him right there. Do not wait, do not prolong, because that's the best it's going to get. And a lot of women, Western women, are going to school, getting degrees, and not really coupling up with no man. That's your problem. But let's hear what's Charlie's response to this.
Men, yes, but in the 1950s or 1960s, the time we're supposed to hate, young ladies looked at it was my task to find a husband before the age of 25. And it was like the most important thing for them. Now, that came with a lot of costs. Some people would say that it was handcuffs and, you know, being in prison. But if young ladies, first and foremost, no offense to my two Australian friends, got off of OnlyFans and stopped, you know, posting naked pictures of themselves online and made themselves harder to get, men would step up to the plate. One of the reasons why men are grown infants is because women are so easy to get right now in America. There's no desire, there's no hunt, there's no search. So you can be a grown infant and you can get sex. When it used to be in 1950s, women would be like, I'm not giving myself over to you. You're a man-child. Like, you don't even pay rent. You have nothing going for you. When now, unfortunately, you can pay $10 a month to go see a woman naked. No offense. Well, actually, kind of offensive, but
Aren't
that's
you
a
guys
separate
like
issue.
$5?
Yeah, I think
Sorry.
But I'm saying that.
that's okay.
But to my OnlyFans friends here.
For correction, OnlyFans didn't really start getting pop off until early of the 2020s, roughly. And personally, that's not the real major reason why most men, young men or old men, are just saying, screw it, let me just go online and just pay for a chick online to see her naked and all this weirdo stuff to get my rocks up. No. Most men, even from the last decade going on to this decade, if they were not getting none, either they're going to really go out their way to pay for it or just sit it out. It's one way or the other. And that's just the two lines. Most men are going to take it. And to each his own, to their own point of view, if sex really is that accessible. And I know most men today, let me rewind that. There are men out there that will pay for the box. I ain't gonna lie. They will do it. But it's not really making them gain anything better out their outcomes in life, especially if they're seeking more than just paying for the box. I hope you guys follow me, but let's keep going.
Do you think that, you both want to get married, right, and have children?
Yeah, of course.
Do you think that you are more desirable or less desirable to a future husband when you post suggestive or naked pictures online?
I think that we're entitled just as much as other people.
No, you're totally entitled. You have freedom to do it. I'm asking a different question. Are you more desirable or less desirable for a man?
It's always been the same for me. Like, I've always received love the same way, and that's pretty shit. Like, I don't really receive it. They all looked at me the same from the beginning.
How do you know how men look at you?
Because when I talk to them, I usually fall head over heels for them, and they all view me the same way. So whether or not I'm doing OnlyFans and selling my body, or not doing OnlyFans and selling my body, I'm still looked at the same way. They still think that of me.
Yeah, you don't know the male mind very well.
But they've already told me themselves.
And men are really good liars. Do you know that?
Yeah, we're good liars.
Then how can you know they're telling the truth?
I don't know. I just take their word for it.
You don't take no person's word for it. Stupid.
Well, I don't know.
I'd say a lot of the guys that I know are more, I guess, the higher value type guys.
And there's actually
they don't take OnlyFans girls seriously.
No, yeah,
and
just
they will never look at them for marriage.
Some people actually do want OnlyFans women and want to marry OnlyFans women and have kids with OnlyFans women.
Erroneous.
But very few.
Erroneous.
Well, hold on. No, do you think those men are virtuous, high-quality men that won't cheat on you?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
It doesn't sound like it, but it's actually really normalized in my area.
No, the fact that it's normalized is not the point. The point is it good? Is it right to post suggestive pictures of yourself online, number one? And does it get closer to your goal of being married for the rest of your life with a soulmate that you love?
I feel obviously, I want to get married, and obviously, I feel like if I was with a guy and he didn't accept my past, I wouldn't want to be with him.
Not your past, if you're still doing it.
If he
you
didn't
quit,
accept it, then
so let me ask you a hypothetical. If you met a man and he says, I'm earning $2 million a year, would you quit OnlyFans?
Okay, like that, yes. If they can make as much as I can, then yes, I'll
So you would quit OnlyFans?
But if they're going to say, stop doing it, but...
Let me give a shout out to Auntie. What's good, Auntie from the Purge? What's up? How you doing, my brother? Hope all is well. Let's continue. And guys, hit the like button.
They're not doing anything with their life, then no, I'm not going to stop.
So it's just purely financial for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Would you agree it's just purely financial for you?
Literally, yeah.
Okay. Do you think that you have more to offer to the world than your body?
Of course.
Yeah.
Then why don't you do that?
Because I just chose not to?
Yeah.
Because you chose, but I know, but don't you think
we have more to offer, but we also want to be able to travel and explore.
Okay,
you know
now we're
and
getting somewhere. So you want a fun life.
Yeah, a free life where we can travel, live our life young.
Everything in life comes with a cost.
Of course.
And the cost for you is that your body will now be shared by tens of thousands of people, not just your soulmate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But don't you feel a little bit of sadness that you wish that your body would just be sold with your future, shared with your future soulmate?
I did have that mindset, and then I feel like men actually changed me and turned me into this person. And
who did? A men?
No, men in general. They just turned me into this person. I didn't plan my life going this way. It was literally a 1-minute decision, and I thought I might as well. They all view me the same, so I'll just throw my life in and do it.
Well,
but I feel like if a man wants to be with me and love me for who I am, then so be it. But if they're going to judge me for what my work is and what I do, then I'm not going to let them in my life.
Right. So the judging is a separate issue. I'm just, do you think the type of man you want, I imagine, is one that tells the truth and that is loyal to you?
Yeah.
That pool of men that you eventually want to have a family with, do you think they will look fondly upon OnlyFans girls?
I don't know. I don't know.
I could tell you as a man that we look so lowly on OnlyFans girls, it's the equivalent to digital prostitution.
Yeah. That's your opinion.
No, it's not.
Really?
It's the average Western male.
I don't know if it's
Wait, what is his opinion?
I mean, it's not an opinion. It is factual that the average Western male looks at OnlyFans no different than an escort service delivered digitally.
Well, isn't it just objectively true?
And I'm not trying to attack either of you. I think you're both victims caught up in this terrible trend. I just want to ask you, have you thought deeply about how this might get you further from your goal, not closer to your goal?
Yeah. Like, I have definitely thought about that. Like, when I first started it, I was like, this comes with like consequences though. So like, I obviously thought about it and was like, but I'm going to do this, and obviously it's going to be harder to find a guy to marry, but I'm taking that risk.
Yeah, I've always thought about just taking the risk, and I've always been like a risk taker. I don't really care about what anyone else thinks. Like, that's up to you and what you think. But if I think that I can get somewhere by it, then I'm going to do it.
Do you both want children?
Yeah.
Well, I do, but I don't know if I can.
You mean physically, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you were to have children and you were to go to your first grader's career day and you were to present to a bunch of first graders, how would you describe what you do to a bunch of first graders?
Well, I don't think that I'll still be doing OnlyFans when I do have kids. I feel like that's something that I would stop before I did have kids.
Yeah.
Just so like it's not like, obviously like the internet is always going to be there, but I
The
feel like
internet
it's
is forever, yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like it's something that I would stop before I did have children, kind of thing.
Can I ask approximately? I have no idea. How much money do you earn annually? Is that okay to ask? I'm just curious.
So in the last 6 months, I've earned over $115,000.
US dollars? Or
AUS.
AUS. So what is
Yeah.
that conversion rate? Like 80%,
So
right?
like, yeah. So it was
You
like,
can buy like a croissant or something with that.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think it's 80,000 American, right? About?
yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah. I think so.
I'm guessing. I don't know.
That's
Okay.
in 6 months?
Yeah,
So you're projected to have like over 180,000 by next year? 160?
Yeah.
Okay.
12 grand a month.
Did you have more on that?
No, I just want to make sure everybody watching and you guys all think deeply about that and how men view not just OnlyFans culture, but you all said marriage, and some of you said marriage and kids is the most important thing, but far too often our actions and what we do every day is actually not getting us closer to our stated goal.
Well, you can say that to the subscribers too, who subscribe to their
I mean, I think that
contribute to their pockets, but that's what I mean.
they should be
How
shamed.
can we find husbands in our 20s, in our early 20s? I'm not in my early 20s, but how could we find husbands if they're busy subscribing to OnlyFans chicks?
Yeah, well, not every man is, and that's a
Sure.
really good question. So where did all the good men go? I talk about this in my book, actually. The first piece of advice I have for young ladies is do not post suggestive material of yourself online. Men want what they cannot see and cannot have. Mystery is lacking in the West.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now he's going to give you solutions, ladies. Take notes. This is important. And I'm going to agree with some things and maybe give you disagreements. But right there, that be one thing. If you don't learn or know or do anything else, yeah, you need to stop revealing yourself. That'll be the first stage. Let's hear the pinpoints of how to possibly get or attract a man.
And I know this is lost on a lot of young ladies. They say, the more I post of myself on, with a bikini on the beach, the more men will like you. No, I mean, the more they'll want to have sex with you, but then they'll look at you as just a visual or a commodity, not as a future soulmate. And the second part is, to be perfectly honest with you, religious men check a lot of the boxes that you guys are looking for. I know that. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, that's my.
I
feel like that's one reason why I was able to find men like that. It's because even though they weren't conservative, they still had very, very deep religious values.
Can you tell me more? That's so interesting.
Mainly Catholic. I'm also Catholic.
Yeah. So, and they believed in the God, right? They wanted to have a family.
Yeah, they didn't necessarily read the Bible word for word every
course.
day, but they followed the Bible.
So would you say that's, if you're looking to find a man in the West and it's your number one priority, and you were given a random selection of a Catholic man or kind of a femboy atheist, you would take the Catholic?
Yeah, I would.
Would you?
The Catholic, yes. I think femboy atheist is so funny.
How many of you are then going to church actively trying to find a man?
I mean, I don't need to.
I also.
Well, I know, but
I didn't meet any of my boyfriends
Okay,
in church,
fair enough.
and I feel like I wouldn't have, if I'm going to be honest. I feel like you can meet a really religious man outside of church.
Fair enough, yeah.
You just have to find where you guys both coincide, and yeah. Like at the library, studying for your exams, for example.
I actually recommend to my single friends to find men in the church because
I agree.
Usually stand-up guys, typically.
Yeah, and I mean, there's exceptions to every rule. And so my advice to my two Australian friends is that if you want the thing that is the most important thing to you, start making those decisions younger than older, because you might end up be filled with a lot of money and a lot of regret.
Well put, Charlie. Well put. Let me read two of these chats that we have kind of. Hugo, here.
So was that simple enough? I think that's as plain and simple that anybody could really have an understanding. I'm not objected to what he has said in regards for you ladies to attract good men. Let me see. You know what? You know what I'm gonna do? Let me mark this. All right. 1:15. All right. Matter of fact, yeah, I'll let it run for a few minutes. Yeah, why not? Let's keep going.
Thank you, Hugo. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'll get it. And then he sent in this other one here.
He sent in a lot of Bible verses.
Yeah.
And remember, the next conversation is going to be one that I don't like, but I'm going to have anyway.
Leads my servants into sex immorality and idol worship. She refuses to repent, so I will cast her into suffering and make her followers suffer unless they repent. Rev 2:19-22. And then in this one, though, you said it was 19:21. So thank you.
You know, Miss Zara, let me see if that you brought a very interesting question there, or something to really emphasize. He means the same church that closed their doors in a pandemic. No one is taking. I'm talking about pandemics and how much impacts it has as humans and their behavior. You know, my question about the impact of these churches locking down their doors during that great pandemic of 2020, right? Was it all church in America locked down their church doors for people to enter in when we had this pandemic? I'm kind of curious. Sort of talking. Yeah, I'm kind of curious. Give me an answer as I wrap this up. Let's go.
Might be a
Appreciate
different one.
Could be, yeah, it could be a different one. Yeah, these are the same. But Hugo, thank you, man. Really appreciate your chat, guys. If you want to get in some couple chats. So I do want to get into our next topic here, and that topic is, we've asked this on the show a couple times. It went viral. This conversation, not from the show, went viral. I think it'd be good to do it while we have Charlie here. Question is, would you rather be stuck in the woods with a random man or a random bear? Starting with you. Go ahead.
How random?
Totally random. So the U.S. male population is like over 150 million, so just a random man.
I've heard really good arguments for both.
Well, what's I guess kind of your knee-jerk
resonates for
gut choice here?
How long am I stuck?
I think you're overthinking the question a little bit, but so it's just random man or random bear.
Oh, okay.
You get randomly plopped in the forest.
Sure.
The man gets randomly plopped in the forest. You are going to cross paths. The choice is between crossing paths with a random man or a random bear.
Random man.
Okay.
So I'm going to preface this. I was on the show a month ago.
Yep.
And we had that question, and I did answer bear. And I'm just going to say, I'm going to change my answer for the sake of, I don't feel like arguing for the bear.
Wait, no. You can't change your answer for the sake of not wanting to argue it. Answer honestly.
No, because the reason why I chose the bear last time was for the sake of the argument, if I'm going to be so honest. Like, if a random man, the chances of it being like all those points I made of the violent, the essay, all that, the chances of that are pretty low compared to the chances of the bear seeing me, running after me, so I don't feel like arguing for the sake of the bear. We're going to choose the man today.
So to be clear, your answer is the bear, but you just don't want to argue it because Charlie's here.
No. I said I chose the bear on the show last time because I, for the sake of the argument, I had so many reasons to argue for the bear. Whereas, right now, I'm like, why would I even do that? Like, the chances of it being a violent man and all those things that I had already mentioned, which
So I convinced you through my argumentation.
No, the thing is, I already knew that from the start. Like, if you told me, if you phrased the question like this, one of my male friends, or a male I knew, or a male that I've even
that's not the question,
in IV that I know,
not the question though.
Here.
Not the question though.
I know.
But so it's a random.
I'm being so real today.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
That's good.
So I'm gonna choose the man.
You're
today.
saying I choose the man if you frame the question like this.
No, I'm saying that just adds to it. But I'm choosing the man either way today.
Okay.
Man.
By the way, don't let people's previous, like you can, if somebody else says man and you think bear, don't let them pressure you into answering otherwise. Go ahead.
Of course, ma'am, but I'm curious what your reasons for bear were. I guess I'll go watch that.
Yeah, we can.
Okay, we don't want. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm definitely gonna leave that alone. And let me see where I'm stopping. And this is about the man and bear. And wrapping up, because this is a part one. I might have to re-look at this again. It's simple. Charlie Kirk, overall, during the first half of this, he laid out his conservative values and his Christian views to a lot of the ladies that sit on the panel. A few of them that's not really born in America and some that are from America. Overall, I think most women don't understand Charlie. He wants to see families again. He wants to see women operate in their natural order. And I mean a natural Western order, which is to be back in the kitchen, raising children. I'm not sure about this barefoot and pregnant. That's some nonsense. But really to take the load off and let the men do his thing. And I think that's what he's trying to lay out throughout the first half of this lengthy conversation when he was a part of this podcast by Brian. Now, overall, I noticed a lot of people were saying things in chat room about his views on Black people. I'm going to keep that there. And the reason why, because I'm a man, Black man generally, I'm very indifferent towards Charlie Kirkland. Personally, I don't follow a lot of these men or these cats on the internet like that. And if you're a man or woman, especially a Black man, Black woman, and you hear these type of tropes from these dudes or women, my advice, you shouldn't watch them. Personally. Now, I can't keep up what's going on the internet every day, especially those that have an opposition towards people of color and people of non-color. But at the end of the day, we will engage in this conversation respectfully, hopefully. And overall, I think his own people from his side speak for themselves about their views of Charlie Kirkland. And that tells you his reach through American society, in my opinion. Oh, no, actually, the premise of the show is more focused on the debate with these ladies. And there is no positive or negative because, like I said before, I'm very indifferent for Charlie Kirk because I don't watch this dude. I don't follow this dude. The only time I knew about a lot of these so-called, I guess they call themselves conservatives, is when they're either two things. Something has happened to them, or they made an impression on a certain news or podcast, or even go as far as social media outlet, and they went viral where everybody's having the conversation. That's what I've discovered. And really, the public has already spoken about Charlie. And the public has spoken, and their conclusion from what I've noticed, and you've noticed, that that's how he left. He came in here with a so-called agenda and message, and he left out with the message and agenda. Now, what's going to happen after this, we don't know. So, you know what I'm going to do? I might do a follow-up, depending on it, to wrap this segment of it, because I like to go back in the catalog of things of these debates he had. I'm not going to go into all his debates because I think it's unnecessary at this point, because really, truly, I saw him on the college campus. I'm not impressed, for those who don't know. I'm definitely not impressed because, in my opinion, I don't think he was challenged by an actual intellect that knows his shit, that is well read and laid out not only the history of the world, but the history of America between blacks and whites. I'll leave it there. All right. Thank y'all for watching for today's stream. Oh, let me end the poll. I apologize. Let's end the poll. We had 847 votes on this poll. The answer or the polls that people have laid out says that Is Charlie Kirk's legacy to be thrown in the waste now that people know of his work? For yes, I got 23%. No, 33%. And roughly 44% said Charlie is the MLK of the 21st century. And that pretty much says it there. Yeah, that says there. So that's it. If you guys have any issues or you feel that Charlie was a piece of crap and all that stuff, you can say in the comment section of this video, respectfully, of course. And like always, give this video a like, share the content, and don't forget, please, subscribe to the Chaos Rain Show. So that's pretty much it. Thank y'all for watching or listening to this stream. And let me see. Hold on. Let me find some. I don't have my things up. Where is my thing? Okay. Until next time, guys, and I mean till next time. Let it chaos reign.
Man, fuck all you hoes. Fuck you and your mammy and your granny too. And fuck all you hoes. I'm sick of this shit. Fuck all you hoes. And fuck all you. Don't give a damn, bitch, what you wanna do. And fuck all you.
They like the chaos.
They like the chaos. So when you're able to
chaos.
let that chaos reign with
Chaos.
let that chaos reign with
Chaos.
let that chaos reign with
Must reign.